All right, Coach, it's Halloween, so, you know, the themes are going to be no tricks. All right, it's Halloween, no tricks or treats, hopefully.
And welcome back to half. And welcome back here to the abbreviated.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to April Zorn Memorial Stadium here on the campus of Monmouth College here as it's the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. My name's Wyatt Reed, joined by Chris Frankhauser, who's to my left. Jeff Borders will be joining us here in just a few moments. Chris, we finally made it to the state championship game. Two powerhouses in eight-man football here in the state of Illinois. We're going to be in for a doozy here this evening.
Absolutely, Wyatt. One of these teams is going to come away as a three-time state champion. Polo here had a couple earlier on a few years ago, but the Amboy Clippers coming in trying to do something that's never been done in I8FA, and that's going to be trying to win 3 straight.
I mean, it's going to be an absolute battle here. You know, Amboy's won the last 2. We got to see them in a very close game last week, and Polo, they're a good team and certainly have the chance to knock off the 2-time defending state champion. We'll talk more about that. We'll talk with the coaches here as we talk with Amboy head coach Scott Payne here on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
And welcome back. It's Coach Payne time, and it's every year. It's the same interview. It's just different people, but the same guy here talking. It seems like 4 years in a row.
Yeah, you know, and it's every year it's exciting. It feels the same. Every year is exciting, and you know, you gotta love coming down here and playing for the state championship. And you know, it's the feeling is the same every single year.
What's so is it? I mean, is it really the same? I mean, this is your 4th time. It never gets old.
No,
you don't lose any, no glimmer, no shine from it at all.
No, I mean, this is why you do this. You know, to have opportunities to play in games like this, and I think the reason why it you know feels great every year is because you're always doing it with a different group of kids, and you see the excitement in the younger kids and the looks in their face when they realize that, hey, we get to go play for a state title, and you know, it's exciting to see the kids excited.
You know, and that's one of the things, right? You've done this now. This is your 4th time here. You're 2-1, but you've done it every year with a mix of some of the same kids, but a bunch of new kids, and obviously the kids that are seniors now and might have been freshmen, I guess, and they might have came or they might not have been here as part of the team, but you've recycled pretty much everybody except for that one senior class now.
Yeah, you know, every year our younger group of kids see our older group of kids, how hard they work in the summer in the weight room and the off season and stuff, and they see what they can accomplish. And that sets the tone for the younger group. And when you have something going on like that, it's a great thing. The kids buy into everything we tell them, preach to them, and they buy into the culture. And I've said this on a radio interview yesterday. The kids deserve all the credit. They're the ones put in the work all summer long. They're the ones that listen to me, yell at them, get on them in practice. So kids deserve all the credit for what they've accomplished so far this year.
And the kids are what's growing the program. I know a lot of people talk about how many kids you have out. There was a time when you were one of the ones that didn't have very many kids playing, right? Success breeds numbers, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. This year actually we only had 17 juniors and seniors, so we moved up for 5 sophomores, so it puts us up over 20, and that's kind of where you want to be, I think, as far as special teams and backup wise. And yeah, like you said, when you start winning, you get a couple kids that will go out that have never gone out. They just want to be part of the team, and that's great. I love kids like that. I think those kids are special, and and that's just what's been happening at Amboy.
So what's going to be key for you guys tonight?
Tonight, Polo runs the ball very well. Mumford is a great running back, and so is number 14. I can't remember his name. I should know his name. I can't remember it right now. But they're very good at running the ball. They put Plack now in the backfield to lead block. So and Polo's very good at running the clock. They're very good at controlling the clock. And so we told our defense all week long, we've got to win on first down and put them in second and long, third and long, not let them eat that clock down. So I think first down defensively is going to be key for us tonight.
You faced a good defense last week. You're going to face another one tonight. What do you have to do offensively to keep that high-powered offense that you normally have kind of rolling in the direction you want it to go?
Well, we got to pick up their blitzes. Polo, when they started the playoffs, switched their defense. They've always been a 4-man front. When the playoffs started, they switched to a 3. Great move by them, I think. We got to be able to pick up their blitzing linebackers, and we got to control the line of scrimmage. That's something we preach every game we go into our offensive linemen is we got to control the line of scrimmage and have them play at our pace, and that's what we try to do every game is try to get the other team to play at the pace that we want to play at, whether it's huddling up, taking our time, or sometimes when we go to our no huddle offense.
So what's going to be the key as a whole? I mean, do you think that your offense, your defense, or your special teams, you think, we don't talk much about special teams in 8-man, even though there's a lot of touchdown runs in 8-man on kickoff returns and punt returns. Is this the kind of game that could come down to something, just maybe not a touchdown, but just a key return?
Yeah, I think special teams would play an important role tonight. Watching the tape on Polo all week, they like to onside kick a lot, or they do a pooch kick. So our kick return team, we practice on turf on Wednesday night, and we probably spent 20 minutes recovering onside kicks just to prepare for Polo coming out and wanting to do that. And I think, special teams is going to play a very, very important role in tonight's game.
Well, Coach, I know you got things to do here, so we won't keep you very long. Good luck tonight, and maybe we'll talk to you for a 3rd time in a row as a 3-peat champion.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't want to say anything, so.
No jinxing it early, right?
No.
All right, Coach,
All right.
thanks. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
We'll be right back after this on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
And welcome back to Monmouth College here. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser on the pregame show. We're going to just get right back into things here as Dwayne's got another interview here. This one standing by with the head coach of the Polo Marcos, and that is Ted Olston.
And welcome back. We're here with Coach Olston now. Coach, I talked to Coach Payne, and he's been here 3 times in a row. You aren't new to this gig either. Has it lost its grandeur any since you've been here before?
Oh no, I think if anything it's gotten bigger as 8-man's growing and as the talent of the teams has gotten better. It's tougher to get here, and so I feel very fortunate to have a team that can get here, and I don't think that that's diminished at all. This is still an exciting game, and we're still real excited to be here.
You guys are 2 teams that have championships. We haven't seen that a ton, where both teams here recently, since I've been able to cover these with TSSR, that one of the teams, both the teams have had championships. Does that help at all coming into this game that both teams have kind of been here before?
For us it's been a while, so most of our kids aren't going to have that memory. For them, probably helps a little bit more, since it's such recent. Our last time was 21, so I'd say it probably favors them a little bit more than us in that respect.
Your guys' defense has been really good all year. You've made some changes in the postseason and did some things. It was really good against South Fork last week. Amboy obviously brings some power to the table offensively. What's it going to take for that defense to continue to do what it's been doing all postseason?
Well, we're going to have to play like we've been playing. I mean, aggressive, tackle well, read our keys, and you know, we're going to be up against a little bit bigger line than we're used to. You know, they're going to have a definite size advantage on us. So hopefully we can use our speed at our defensive line position and linebackers and get into their backfield here and there, and hopefully you know, make some plays in the backfield and be just real solid. You know, you just don't want to give up big plays and give them that momentum.
Last time you were here, it was a 12-7 game against Orangeville. Everybody thought that day it was going to be a huge scoring game, and it wasn't. I think people think now it should be high scoring, but they kind of have it. It seems like the talk is the defenses are good enough that maybe it won't be. Is this, as a coach, is this game kind of up in the air which way it might go to?
Yeah, I think it's just one of those games that once the game gets started, you know, the game flow kind of dictates what happens. Oftentimes, you know, we played week 9, we gave up 40 points to South Beloit, you know, and scored 70 points. So it's just, each game is a little bit different, and so, yeah, no one would have thought the last time we were here that it would be a 12-7 game, but you just never know from game to game, you know, what's going to happen with momentum and mistakes and penalties and things like that. So, you know, you really don't have a feel for it. You just kind of go with what's happening on the field.
You guys have had a good year. You are both coming in here with teams that have won championships. You're both coming in here with 1 loss. What does that say about what the I8FA has become a little more balanced? And I mean, obviously you both lost to Milledgeville, but it's becoming a more balanced league, I feel like.
Yeah, I would agree. I think as more teams come in and as teams are in it for a longer period of time, they start to understand what it takes to be successful, and you have a lot of programs that are really starting to grow and become better, and you know, that's exciting. It reminds me a lot of, you know, 11-man back in the NUIC, where every week was a battle, and that's kind of how football should be.
Mumford last week kind of cramped up on you, I think. Is he all good coming into the night?
I think so, yeah.
He told you he is.
You know me, he is. You know, we've been giving him pickles every day, so he better be all right.
You got pickle juice on the sideline?
We got more pickle juice than we know what to do with on the sideline. Every person in town gave us a thing of pickles. So,
you know, you laugh about that, but it wasn't. It was abnormally hot. It wasn't super hot, but it was abnormally hot last week. And kids just get out of the habit of drinking water and fluids like they probably should. That stuff happens. It even happens in the NFL.
It does. And we had actually a couple other kids that were cramping up too. So, you know, we really didn't do a good job of preaching, you know, hydration that week. And, you know, sometimes as the year gets later, you know, the kids don't drink as much as they should. So hopefully that won't be an issue tonight.
What's going to be the key for you guys offensively?
I think offensively we have to sustain drives. We can't have 3 and outs. We've got to have positive plays. We got to, you know, eliminate any kind of mistakes, mental, you know, turnovers, penalties, and be happy if you just get a couple yards on it down, and just, as long as you're moving forward against this team, it's a positive, and we got to be happy with that.
Well, Coach, good luck tonight. We appreciate you coming up and talking to us and being part of the pregame show, and we'll talk to you after the game, and for your sake, I hope it's a win.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on getting here.
Thanks.
We'll be back right after this on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
And 2 very well-coached teams here as we're back at Monmouth College here, April Zorn Memorial Stadium here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser. We will get Jeff Borders in here just in time for kickoff here. But Chris, again, 2 very great coaches here. This is going to be a fun one tonight.
It should be, as Polo coming off a big win against South Fork last week, and Amboy, tough one that you and I got to see with Milledgeville. 6-0 game at the half, ended up 18-8, but yeah, should be 2 powerhouses here. It should be a dandy.
Should be a dandy indeed. We got another interview with our great title sponsor here, so we'll step aside on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
And welcome back here to the abbreviated pregame show. Of course, Illinois Farm Bureau is title sponsor of tonight's championship game, and I have Brenda here representing Illinois Farm Bureau. Now, there's a lovely young lady standing off camera that didn't want to talk, and you got to talk.
I
so
got the privilege, yes.
is that how did that happen? How did she come up with the plan of you talking?
Well, I think it was just because I was the only one coming down.
So you're guilty, or by association, so to speak?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that happens sometimes, right?
It does.
Illinois Farm Bureau, of course, in the agricultural community, extremely important for the state of Illinois.
Absolutely.
Why is it important for Illinois Farm Bureau to be at this grassroots level of high school sports?
At high school sport, well,
Or grassroots level of anything, for that matter?
well, yeah, it's so important because there's 70,000 farmer members in the Illinois Farm Bureau, and they come together collectively with a strong voice for Illinois agriculture. And they're very proud of probably one of the most important industries that the state of Illinois has.
Yeah, agriculture, I'm old, so it's been a long time since I was an FFA section president, but I remember how important agriculture was. Even though it was an actual production agriculture, there's so many other things that Illinois Farm Bureau helps with, and it pushes all of agriculture, and all of agriculture in Illinois is important.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's ag in everything that you do every day. There's not anything that you could do in your daily routine that doesn't have something to do with agriculture. I mean, you can trace it back to, toothpaste, your hairbrush, anything.
Right.
Yeah, and just having the small community and wanting to support Illinois 8-man football, it just brings that cohesiveness together. We have the same beliefs, providing opportunities for rural communities. And, we have several coaches across the whole state of Illinois that are farmers and Illinois Farm Bureau members. So, they don't do it for the money. They don't do it for the prestige. They do it for the interest of the kids and the interest of the community.
And that's something that I think is lost in Illinois Farm Bureau, and organizations like that represent a group of people that are individuals, but you guys allow them to come together and have a voice.
Yeah.
And what are some of the projects you guys work on? Can you name anything that maybe people see or don't see that you guys have a hand in?
Well, maybe one that might be more that they would see readily is Illinois agriculture in the classroom, and that gets students, whether they're in urban areas or rural areas, even some of the rural kids, they don't have the farming background, so it teaches them the importance of agriculture. Probably one of the next big ones that people may not be aware of is there's Adopt a Legislator. So they take urban legislators and take them out to a farm and have them connect to farmers across the state, so that, when they're voting on behalf of the farming industry, the agriculture industry, they can have something to tie back to.
Illinois Farm Bureau is something that I think people hear a lot about, and it's nice to be able to use this platform for us to say, Illinois Farm Bureau does things for more than just your neighbor who farms. The kids and people every day, whether you realize it or not, Illinois Farm Bureau in one way or another is probably doing something that helps you, whether you realize they're helping you or not.
Oh yeah, there's events all the time. They do ag safety. There's, like I said, ag in the classroom for the students there. There's other events that on a local level for the local county Farm Bureau, they have the opportunity to bring things more local and more specialized for their area. So there's all kinds of field days and events going on.
What does the Farm Bureau, how's it set up? I know there's county farm bureaus and there's the state farm bureaus. Is there regionals or anything, or how does that stuff? I shouldn't say regionals, regions, or is it? I know you break it down so that the local guy gets representation,
yes.
which is an important part of everything you do too.
Yeah, I believe there's 93 local farm bureaus across the state, and that's where you can take your local issues to, and then their board on the local level takes it up to, I'm not sure exactly who, if there's a step in between the state or whatever, but that's how everything gets carried out.
Well, I can tell you that we're extremely privileged to have you guys on with us this year. We hope that it's a long time partnership, and hopefully we can do more to get you guys involved. And maybe at some of these games during the year next year, we could get you to get some of the local representation to come and talk to us at halftime, stuff like that. And maybe you won't have to do all of it.
Well, that would be great. It's a little bit more informative person than myself.
Hey, you know what? From where I'm sitting, you did a great job.
Well, thank you.
I mean, she wouldn't talk, so, right?
Well, yeah, I guess. I did my best.
You did your best. That's all you can do. That's all the kids are doing on the field too, right?
That's right.
Is their
That's
best.
right.
And you're wearing a Clippers. Aren't you from Polo? Holy smokes, you guys are friends. Now, is this friendship going to end as soon as the camera turns off? That's my question.
Oh, no.
No?
No.
You'll be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys came. We're happy to have the Illinois Farm Bureau as a partner for the state championship game, and hopefully we can continue that and expand it and get even more involved and be a part of the whole playoffs next year, maybe even.
And welcome back, TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, the I8FA State Championship game, brought to you by the good folks at the Illinois Farm Bureau. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, also joined by Jeff Borders. We got his mic, everything up and running here this evening, and we are ready to go here for the opening kickoff as the Polo will kick off to the two-time defending state champion Amboy Clippers, so we'll get to see Amboy in action here to start this state championship, guys.
Jose Lopez back deep for the Clippers, and an onside squib kick that we heard in the pregame show that we expect a lot of by Coach Payne, followed
Okay,
on
zoom
by
camera is the same as
Evan
before.
Flanagan, 83 for the Clippers.
Which that's a name we're going to be saying a lot here this evening, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We got to see that in person last week there, Chris. This kid's a very special dude, going to make a lot of plays here this evening.
Yeah, I was in on that block punt that gave Amboy their first points of the game last Saturday against Milledgeville.
So we get ready to go here. The opening play of the state championship here. Amboy has got Lopez taking the direct snap. He'll go left side, and he
big
is
hit.
hit hard at midfield. And Marcos of Polo will stop him after a 2-yard gain to start things off. What a hit, sending a message to the Marcos here in the early going there, Mr. Borders.
Yeah, number 75, Plancho, we saw him last week in that game against South Fork. He is going to be a ton there in the middle that Amboy is going to have to deal with if they want to run up the middle.
Second down and 8 as we're just underway here. 11:33 to go here in the opening quarter on a rainy night here in Monmouth. I formation here as Welch turns, hands it off to his back. That's McCoy. He tries to bump to the outside. He's got some defenders dragging him with him, though, as he's going to be...
A 5'11" junior linebacker for the Marcos is going to set up a third and about 3, we'll call it.
First minute gone here in the state championship. Third down and 2 as we await the next one here. Welch under center as he awaits the snap. Here's the snap. They turn, hand it off. Gets it to the back as he runs his way towards the 40-yard line. He's going to have enough. The first down as the Clippers take it. That's Caden Heath. Does so well.
Absolutely, and we saw last week not just the quarterback, Tanner Welch, we saw a lot of direct snaps to McCoy and Lopez at occasions in that game against Milledgeville.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line on the plus side of the field here after the short kick to start the game here for the Marcos. Here's the snap. They hand it off left side and met at the line there. The Marcos... Maybe a yard there for, it looked like Colt McCoy on that one.
It was McCoy in 25. Quentin Hart, 6'1" senior on the stop for the Marcos after a short gain. We'll call it 1.
1 might be a generous spot there as we approach the 10-minute mark here in the opening quarter. Welch breaks the huddle. Tanner Welch, the starting quarterback, 5'10", 160 pounds. I formation for Welch. As he awaits the snap, takes it, hands it off left side, and trying to find his way through some blockers is Lopez. A heroic effort last week in the semifinal for Lopez. Got 3 touchdowns to lead the way for the Clippers, but only a yard or 2 on that one, and it'll be third down and long here for the Clippers.
It's going to be a long night if they can't control the line of scrimmage, and I think, as I say that, either team can control the line of scrimmage is going to be successful tonight.
Colt McCoy in the backfield here as Tanner Welch awaits the snap here. 3rd down and 8, 9:20 to go here. Ball at the 38. Fakes the handoff, looking to throw. Welch going to throw this one right side, looking for his man. That one in and out of the hands. The intended target, Cody Wynn, the tight end, the senior, 5'9", 175-pound tight end. Incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down and decision time here for the state champs. It looks like the decision, though, has already been made.
Mercer Munford, 83, the 6'1 junior on the pass coverage for the Marcos.
And he was there in good coverage. The pass was there. It was in his hands. Maybe the raining, wet conditions had a little something to do with the incompletion, but still good coverage by Mumford.
Rylan McNinch here to punt this one away and try to pin the Marcos deep in their own territory on the opening punt. That one goes over his head. McNinch has to go fall on it, and the Marcos will be set up with excellent field position for their first possession of the ball game.
It's like at about the 38 of the Clippers. And you got to wonder, I was just going to mention the rain has started to pick up again here at Monmouth College. If maybe the wet ball had a little something to do with that snap going over McNinch's head.
Well, and I was going to say, leading up to this one here, who's going to blink first? Is that the blink for the defending state champ, the 2-time defending state champion? You don't see those kind of plays that often from Amboy. That one sails over the head, and now the Marcos are set up with 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line as their starting quarterback takes the first snap here. It's JT Stevenson, but Mumford's going to line up as the quarterback, and he'll take the direct snap here. Opening play of the game as he'll run left side, and he will get maybe to the 36-yard line. .45 to go here, 2nd down and 9 as the high-powered Polo offense. Both these offenses very high-powered. 2 of the best in the state in the 8-man department. Stevenson awaits the next snap, hands it off to Mumford. He'll run it right side, trying to get his way through some holes. He's past the 35-yard line.
But leading the way on the runs for Mumford.
So 3rd down and 6 to go here. 8 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. As JT Stevenson, the quarterback, he's got number 3, Damon Rao, in the backfield with him. Stevenson going to take it right side, and he's going to be met by a lot of Clippers right there. This Clippers defense holds strong, maybe back to the line of scrimmage if he's lucky. It'll be 4th down. Give him a couple yards. And 5, and decision time here for the Marcos, trying to dethrone the 2-time defending state champion.
Cody Wynn, number 3, and Evan Flanagan, number 83 on the stop for the Clippers.
They give him 2 on that play.
4th and a long 4, short 5.
Ball marked at the 31-yard line. Big play here in this ball game early. 7:20 to go here in the opening quarter. Stevenson awaiting the snap. It's actually Mumford in the backfield awaiting the snap. As Mumford takes it, he's going to roll it left side, looking for some blockers. He's to the outside, trying to get to the corner. There goes Mumford down the sideline. Touchdown, Marcos! Mercer Mumford strikes early here in Monmouth. 31 yards, and the Marcos lead 6-0.
And Jeff was talking about it earlier. Big number 75, Wyatt Poxno, the 6'3" senior, lead blocker on that run on that far side.
Yeah, and if you saw right before the play, Ploshno went up, said something to the tight end on that side. I think they said, hey, you go get this guy. I'm going to lead out. And then Stevenson also came out leading the way. 3 lead blockers for that play.
The patience that it takes for Mercer Mumford on a play like that slow developing play. He was able to get to the corner. What a play for the Marcos as the 2-point try fakes the handoff. Stevenson following blockers, and he's in for the 2-point try. So the Marcos out in front. They take advantage of an early mistake. 6:59 to go here in the first. We're back after this. TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I'm Lindsay Schaefer. I'm a physical therapist specializing in pelvic floor physical therapy here at McDonough District Hospital Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Young women, a lot of them have pelvic pain. They don't realize that it's something that they don't have to live with anymore. It's very common for people to have urinary leakage. And I always say it's common, but it's not normal. It's not something you need to live with. I also focus on hip pain, back pain. It's all kind of connected. Any age really can benefit from it.
And welcome back to the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA Illinois State Championship game here in 8-man football here on TSSR Game Time Live. Presented by MDH, Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, Jeff Borders on the call here this evening. 8-0. What a start here for the Marcos. You couldn't have scripted this one any better. Take advantage of the turnover, the snap over the head of the punter, and then run it in from 31 yards. Mercer Mumford making a statement here early.
Yeah. Something that Mercer does really good is he lets that play develop in front of him. Not everything has to be real quick hit. He lets that blocking, got to the sideline, and was nothing for a house from there.
So we'll see if it is another short kick here. Stevenson lining up. Looks like he's lining up for a shorter kick as Stevenson approaches. Another onside kick try. That one goes to Flanagan, and he falls right down. Smart play on a wet, rainy day like today. And it'll be set up there around the 45-yard line, 6:57 to go.
Now, those are not an intentional onside kick. Those are a squib kick, and something that a lot of the teams in 8-man have decided that I've seen this year. We were one of them. You give that short kick to diminish the chance of a return and the possibility of recovering something when it's muffed.
We saw that last week as Milledgeville successful on one against the Clippers.
6:57 to go here. I formation. Welch hands it off, gets it to Lopez, looking for blockers. He's going to try to bump it to the outside. It looked like he was free for just a moment past the 45-yard line to the 46. A good gain of 3 to start things off here on this drive.
Ethan Dewey with a big, as you got ready to call that one for a big play, Wyatt. Ethan Dewey with the wrap-up and spinning him down and holding him to a short gain.
2nd down and 7 after the gain of 3 there by Lopez. We're going to see a lot of Lopez, but a lot of different bodies getting carries for Amboy. I formation here. 2nd down. Here's the snap. The toss right side to McCoy. He's going to try to get to the corner. The Marcos have that one well covered as he's near midfield, but that's about it. Another gain of 2, maybe 3 on that play. It'll be 3rd down and medium here for the defending state champions.
Good pursuit by the Marco defense on that far side. I see number 3, Damon Rowe, the last Marco back to the huddle. I think he was in on that stop for Polo.
Another 3-yard gain. They mark it right at midfield here. So a big possession here for Amboy, who hasn't trailed much this season, if at all. And you got to think, well, when do nerves start to take in? Obviously, very early in this ball game, but we'll find out as this one moves along here. 3rd down and 4 at midfield. 6:18. The clock was stopped after it went out of play, so it'll be 3rd down. Here's the snap, running it left side on the direct snap, and the Marcos have that one well covered. Another carry there by Lopez, but he couldn't find a hole. Maybe a gain of a yard. It'll be 4th down and 4 as we approach 6 minutes here in the first.
Quentin Hart, 25 again on the stop for Polo. And Polo early on doing a really good job not giving up the big plays and letting them Clippers get anything to the outside.
Yeah, that's something we saw last week. They played against George Bailey, leading rusher in the state in 8-man, and they shut him down. He had 5 carries for a total of 36 yards.
And we got a whistle. We have an official's timeout here, as it looks like McNinch is out there to punt this one away, but we'll see what the official signal is here, as they're back near the yard marker, so I think they had the wrong down. And it'll be 4th down and 3 here. So Polo being very vigilant in that regard here. They want to make sure that everything's all good to go here. A big play here, but it does look like it is a punting situation.
Yeah, we always want to make sure the down marker is correct. We saw some controversy at the beginning of the playoff season this year, so definitely want to make sure that the down is correct.
5:44 to go here after the officials' timeout, and then now the Clippers come together. Maybe they're going to get another go at it here, but the down and distance again on the far side of the field still has 3rd down. So now the official goes over and he's like, all right, let me have a go at this. So a little bit of a delay here as we try to get the yard marker fixed on a rainy, cool night here. I mean, we've had worse here in the state championship games, but the weather's certainly going to be a factor in this one.
Yeah, it seems like every year that I've done this, and I think this is my 4th state title game, it's beautiful weather leading up to it. I mean, last week at the semifinals, I know you guys had some great weather up at Amboy. You know, we were in Kincaid, 73 degrees at game time. I was in shorts and a T-shirt. Here we are with hoodies, long sleeves, and it just seems like the state game brings in, hey, let's get some drizzle, let's get some cooler temperatures.
Well, this is more football, November football weather than last week.
I did say that it seems like the title game brings out the fall football weather.
Absolutely.
Certainly does. And now, 4th down, it looks like they can't get that yard marker fixed, so they're just going to have to roll with it here and trust the scoreboard here. 4th and 3, McNinch ready to punt it as he boots it. He's got a good leg.
Kick.
This might be a good punt as that one returned near the 10. Lost the handle for a moment. Now he's back to the 5, looking for some blocks, and he's going to be down near the 8-yard line. Mercer Mumford, that ball slipped right out of his hands there. 5.5 minutes to go, and the Marcos will set up inside their own 10.
Good pursuit again by Amboy this time as, see, Caden Heath, Cody Wynn both down, I believe, amongst others on the stop for the Clippers.
5.5 to go here, opening quarter of the state championship game here in the I8FA. Good to have you along here this evening as we've got a lot to cover here throughout the course of this broadcast here. We're happy to do it as Stevenson, actually it's Mumford awaiting the direct snap as Mumford will take it, looking for some blockers. There goes Mumford towards the outside past the 10, and they're going to blow this play dead.
About the 12?
At the 12-yard line, so I don't know why
maybe the 13?
They may say his forward progress stopped. A 5-yard gain, up to the 13. It'll be 2nd down and 5 upcoming with 5:24 to go.
Cody Wynn on the stop again, number 3, the 5'9" senior for the Clippers.
Mercer Mumford is one heck of a player here, and going into the quarterfinals, the Marcos didn't even know if they were going to have him until Friday at 4 o'clock. He played and had 3 touchdowns in that quarterfinal against St. Anne. Here's the snap, running it up the middle, a big hole, there goes Stevenson. He's up to the 25, gain of 12 for Stevenson as the Marcos are rolling from deep in their own territory.
Evan Flanagan on the stop, 83 for the Clippers. Gain from the 13 out to the 25, a gain of 12, and another Marco first down.
And they spin the clock here, 5:18, a ball at the 25. JT Stevenson, he's got some legs too as they try to spin that clock there. All sorts of technical issues going on here today on the staff there down on the field, but they're battling the elements too. Here's the snap, here's the handoff to Mumford. He goes, cuts back right side, tries to get a yard maybe. That's going to be a gain of 1 as we tick under 5 minutes to go here. 8-0 Polo, with the lead.
It's easy to get that the fighting Marcos of Polo.
Yeah, if you're playing a drinking game at home, you might want to take a swig on that one. We'll see how many times we do that here.
Every time we get the mascot confused with the town.
Yes.
Or the town confused with the mascot.
So there you go.
Yes,
you can have some fun here this evening as this state championship game rolls along here. 4.5 minutes to go as we await the next snap here for the Marcos. It looks like Mumford back there for the next snap. Here's the snap. Mumford going to take it right up the gut. He's hit almost immediately, and he'll get to about the 29-yard line, so a gain of 3 on the play for Mumford. Already his 5th carry here in this ball game. As we approach 4 minutes to go, 3rd down and long.
Caden Heath, number 2 on the stop after the gain out to the 29.
So they went with the old school. You see the yard marker on the far side there, fellas. They went with the old school, the old flip around sign here tonight. So
nothing. Well, I shouldn't say nothing technical.
You say that one, the numbers are going to fall right off.
You know what? Who knows how this one
It's
goes.
been that kind of night.
And we're only in the first quarter.
I know.
Here. 3:45 to go as awaiting the snap here is Mumford. As Mercer Mumford takes it, he's going to run it left side, looking for a hole. There goes Mumford again! 40-yard line, it's Mumford! Shows off his speed, and he is going to be run out of bounds! What a run, Mercer Mumford!
Same play we saw before the touchdown. Saw number 75 in motion, and again, a big run for Mumford and the Marcos.
That'll be run out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. What a long run right there And the Marcos set up again with excellent field position as we're at 3:25 to go here in the first.
Yeah, from the 29.
35-yard run.
That was an excellent run there. I think you're right, 35, 36-yard run there by Mercer Mumford.
Going to mark it at the 36 from the 29.
3:25 to go here in the opening quarter. There's a timeout on the field here, so we going to step aside, or are we going to keep?
We
it
got
here?
Sam with us.
Sam with us from the IHSA, kind enough to join us here. 8-man state championship games. These are always a lot of fun here. Really get to see this, these teams, the pride, the passion that these fan bases have. It's on full display here in the early going.
No doubt. Huge crowd tonight, despite the crummy weather we're enduring. You can tell the fans are into it. It's not even the first quarter yet, and people are really excited.
So, I mean, these 8-man games, they're always very interesting. Some people, they scoff at it here, but I know these games bring out some of the best ball games here as we get ready for this next snap here. But a lot of great football being played here in the early going as Stevenson takes it right side, looking for a hole. There goes Stevenson, and he nearly broke it as he's going to be stopped for a gain of 9. Marcos moving the ball here early against the defending state champions. And
Cody Wynn with maybe a touchdown-saving tackle on that one.
As we approach 3 minutes to go here, but again, you just have to sit here and just smile, as the IHSA watching all these fans show up for these kind of games, despite the weather, like you said. This is football weather. What do you want here? As we're here in the month of November.
It's a Friday night in the middle of November. The lights are on. People are having a great time, and the kids are playing their best football game of the season.
Mumford awaits the next snap. He'll take it, direct snap, runs it up the gut, and he might have the yard to gain. He does have the yard to gain. He needed to get to about the 25-yard line, and they're going to give him the 25-yard line here.
Evan Flanagan, 83 on the backside on the stop for the Clippers.
Plenty of great football, though, being played around the state there. The IHSA, obviously, in the heart of playoff season here. So a lot of great matchups here. A lot of divisions in the semifinals going into this weekend. So not just tonight. Tomorrow going to be a very busy day for the IHSA.
Yeah, the spotlight's certainly on Monmouth College tonight. This is the only high school football game taking place in Illinois tonight, but a lot of great games on tap for tomorrow in the semifinals, too.
Stevenson takes it, hands it off to Mumford. He goes right side.
There he goes.
Mumford again, and he's got one man to beat, and he's in. Touchdown, Mercer Mumford. 25 yards with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first. The Marcos lead 14-0.
Mumford, 9 carries in their two possessions, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And to think this kid, they didn't even know if this kid was going to start a few weeks ago. Now here he is in the state championship game, and he is putting on a show here, Chris.
He is, absolutely, and a great run again from Mumford for the Marcos as we get the 2-point conversion coming up.
As the 2-point try there for Mumford, tries to get to the outside, and he is going to be stopped short. So 14-0, the Marcos making a statement early. We'll be back after this. TSSR Game Time Live. It's presented by MDH.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is all last year's stuff, I think. Some of it, but yeah. All right, thanks. Thanks, Sam.
Well, Polo says we're here.
Yeah.
See if you can stop us.
Certainly are.
And was that 2 possessions and 2 punts, right?
2 possessions, 2 punts.
Attempted punt.
Attempted punt.
Right.
One went over the head, and 1:59 to go here in the opening quarter. What's that?
He is.
1:59 to go here in the opening quarter here. TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, and Jeff Borders joining me here as well. As a 14-0 lead here for the Marcos. Quite the statement, though, being made here in the early going there, fellas, as the Marcos look to knock off the 2-time defending state champions.
Going to expect another squib kick here.
Stevenson with a pooch kick right there. That one goes towards the 35-yard line, and that'll take it about the 37-yard line. That's where Amboy will take over. You know, you hate to say it's a must-score situation. It's a long game here, but when you have two teams that like to run the ball a lot, I mean, it is certainly. We just had somebody poke their head in.
That's
say
Coach Kirby.
That's Coach Kirby
from West Central.
But you know, again, but when you have two teams that run the ball here so much, so frequently, the possessions are very limited here in a game like this.
Yeah, absolutely. As we'll see, Amboy third time on offense here in the title game.
So here's the snap. Amboy gets a
Big
big hole there, left side. That is Heath. As he's going to be near the line to gain. We'll see where they mark him. It is a first down.
Give him a gain of 12 on that, actually.
Yeah, from the 38 to right to midfield.
But, I mean, how special is it, you know, as we talk back with the folks from the I8FA, how special is this night here? As you mentioned, it's the only game in the state of Illinois right now. And, I mean, they're putting on a good show here, at least in the early going. It's a very special night here, at least especially for the eight-man crowd.
Yeah, no doubt. The spotlight is shining brightly on our small schools tonight, the 8-man schools who do their best to keep football alive in small communities around the state. And it's so fun to watch these kids play out their dreams in a state championship game.
It looks like we had a penalty there while we were talking there just a moment ago. False start.
One thing I would jump in with, and tomorrow, the Class 1A, kind of something that you don't see all the time. You have two teams from the same conference going against each other, so someone from those two conferences will play each other for the state title game.
Yeah, that's very unique. In the semifinal games, only two conferences are represented.
Yes.
And both games tomorrow are rematches from earlier in the season.
Welch tries to throw that one, and there should be a penalty flag right there come out eventually, as Welch was pressured early from the Marco defense. And
that was Damon Rowe, number 3, the 6'3 senior on the hit.
Well, they're going to say incomplete pass right now. Now the officials all come together here. 14-0 our lead here. 1:05 to go. Now they're I guess it's a question. Polo is arguing that might be a fumble there, fellas.
Either that or intentional grounding. I don't know if that was a lineman or a
incomplete pass.
So
and you hear the Polo crowd below. They're not so happy with that call.
Looks like Coach Olston is asking for an explanation here, and they're explaining it to him. Ted's going to understand that that was an incomplete pass. We'll play the next down.
So second down and 15, 1:05 to go here. Ball at the 45-yard line, 14-0 our score here, as Amboy needing to make a statement here on this drive, trailing by 2 scores. And with the Marco playing as good as they are, this is certainly a very important segment here as the I formation. Welch turns, hands it off, gets it to Lopez.
Wow, the
he
pursuit.
Cannot find a hole right now. The Marcos have that well defended as we're under a minute to go here. 3rd and long for the defending state champions.
That pursuit down the line from the backside end is what Lopez was held up just enough that he came around that corner, was able to wrap him up to get that very short gain.
Lopez used to seeing some pretty big holes and not having to do a lot of tiptoeing around to try and find a hole. Has had to do that thus far here in the opening quarter.
3rd down and 14 as the ball marked at the 46-yard line. As we tick under 30 seconds to go here. Welch in the in the shotgun, I should say. 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. They move a man in motion. Here's the snap. Fakes it, gives the screen, and that one well covered as Polo able to take him down just past midfield, as that is Cody Wynn on the catch and run. It'll be past the original line of scrimmage, but still going to be about 7 yards shy, as that'll put an end to our first quarter.
I think that was Damon Rowe, number 3, again on the stop for the Marcos.
14-0 Polo with the early lead. We'll step aside. It's quarter number 2 coming up. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
My name is Kelsey Cunningham. I'm a nurse practitioner with the cardiology department here at McDonough District Hospital. Cardiology is like a big puzzle. A lot of things can be traced back to the heart, and to see somebody in your office at the beginning of the process really down on themselves and not feeling like their best self and I think in their mind, never really thinking that they're going to recover from that, to fast forward 6 months where they're back doing things they once did. It's the ultimate goal, and I love to see it happen.
And welcome back. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, and Jeff Borders joining me here as well. And we got Sam from the IHSA for a little bit longer here. We figure at least keep him around for this punt, but the punts, I mean, they're not a sure thing there, Sam. We saw one go over the head of Amboy already.
Yeah, Amboy 3 possessions and 3 attempted punts. There's another decent one right there.
That's a really good punt by McNinch. We'll
is
see
it going
if
to
that
stop?
one checks up. Is it going to go into the end zone?
Does.
That one goes into the end zone. Well, Sam from the IHSA, we appreciate you coming out here and chatting with us. Best of luck here as the football season and, of course, basketball getting underway here as well. A lot on you guys' plates, so we appreciate the time coming and chatting with us, but enjoy the rest of the game.
Yeah, we're looking forward to an exciting game the rest of the way. We'll see if Amboy can keep up with the Marcos are looking really good so far tonight. Thanks, guys.
Hey, we appreciate you there,
Thanks, Sam.
Sam.
Appreciate
it. Sam with the IHSA, and always good to have those guys joining us here in Monmouth College.
Thank you.
April Zorn Memorial Field, second quarter of action just underway here, 11:50 to go here on a rainy night here in Monmouth. Another good possession here set up potentially for the Marcos as they get ready for the first snap. Here it goes,
Mumford.
left side. Mumford with the carry, and he's going to have himself some good yardage right there as Mumford gains about 4, maybe 5, up to about the 25-yard line.
You know, you talked the last possession by Amboy being a must score. If Polo scores here, this is one of those things where you go up 3 scores, and these teams aren't normal offenses that can come out, spread the field, and throw the ball around a lot. They rely on this ground and pound type of offense, and a score here could make this a very interesting game going out because Polo would definitely have the advantage.
Well, and both schools not used to having to play from behind.
JT Stevenson in the shotgun awaiting the next snap. He'll take it himself, runs it up the gut. And he's past the 25-yard line to about the 26, maybe a gain of 2 on the play. JT Stevenson on the carry. So it'll be third down and about 4, maybe 3. That might be a generous spot there. So it looks like maybe 3 yards awaiting the Marcos from getting themselves another first down.
Number 60, Owen Loomis, and number 5, Ryland McNinch on the stop for the Amboy Clippers.
This is probably the first time since week 1 that Amboy's been down in their only loss of the season to Milledgeville.
Well, here's a big play here as Mercer Mumford going to line up as the quarterback. He'll take it. He fakes the handoff, runs his way up the gut. There goes Mercer Mumford past the 30. He's got himself a first down. Mumford running hard here in the early going. He's got a first down. The Marcos will continue this drive. 10:25 to go here. Ball marked at the 31-yard line, fellas. What a start here for Mercer Mumford, as we mentioned, already over 100 yards here in the early going.
You couldn't ask for better if you're Coach Olston. They come out offensively, get a couple of scores, and hold this high-powered Amboy offense in check through the first quarter.
As we approach 10 minutes to go here, as the next snap, JT Stevenson awaiting that snap. Stevenson will take it, fake the handoff. He'll take it himself, left side, looking for a hole. He gets to about the 35-yard line before he is taken down. It'll be another good gain here, gain of 4. First down offense here for the Marcos. It's been really good here. They're staying ahead of the sticks, and when you're a team that likes to run the ball a lot in ball games, staying ahead of the sticks is very important for your offense.
Yeah, they've had good success, 3, 4, 5 yards on average here in the opening quarter plus on first down.
JT Stevenson's got the next play here as he breaks the huddle. Stevenson with Mercer Mumford back there with him. 9:15 to go. Awaiting the snap. And he'll take it. Runs it left side. Stevenson is hit. That's a big hit there for Amboy as they try to send a message. Back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and 6 as we approach 9 minutes.
We're going to move that back. We're going to give him a loss of 1 on that. It's going to bring up a third and about 8 now for the Fighting Marcos of Polo.
Trevor Stencil and Jose Lopez, number 50, number 1 on the big hit there for Amboy.
8:45 to go here. Big play here for Amboy as they look to get a stop here, trailing 14-0 to the Marcos. As the Marcos look to keep this possession going and try to wear down the two-time defending state champions. It's third down as Mercer Mumford awaits the snap. Mumford, we got a whistle, and we got a timeout.
Timeout Marcos.
So what is, kind of going through the minds of the Clippers here? Do you think their Coach Borders is, you don't want to panic here. Like I said, there's still a lot of football left, but this feels like a very important moment here early in this game.
I think this is a big third down here. If they get the stop here on third down, they go back. They didn't give up any points. They've given up points on the first two defensive possessions. If they can hold them here, get a punt, you're still in that situation where you still may or may not be in a must-score situation. Coach Kirby stuck his head in and said this is definitely a must-score situation. So I would kind of lend to agree with him and with the way just the offensive styles are for these teams. Also, I also want to give a little shout-out here. We do this every year. Coach Lafferty from Rushville, of course, just text listening in. I'd like to thank Coach Lafferty for everything he's done over the last years.
Absolutely.
The playoff runs, good luck in future endeavors, Coach.
8:26 to go here. Mumford going to take the snap. He'll roll right side. He gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and Mumford stopped on third down. And the Clippers defense holds strong there. Big stop here for the defending state champions as the Clippers get ready to get the ball back here, potentially with 8:10 to go here in the second quarter.
Well, we said we were going to call his name a lot on defense. Guess who? 83, Evan Flanagan again for Amboy.
Now, we saw last week that there was a couple snap issues in the same situation here for Polo.
We've already seen one bad punt snap here in this game.
Looks like McCoy back deep for the Clippers.
That Mumford out there to boot this one away, potentially. 7:47 to go here.
Now McCoy sneaking up, and they're not going to have anybody back deep.
And that one booted, and that's going to be an excellent punt.
Takes a nice bounce.
And it'll roll up about the 22-yard line, and that's where the Marcos down it. 7:34 to go here as Amboy will take over on this possession here. And, they just haven't been able to get really get any kind of movement on the offensive line. They've been getting bullied around, which is something that you're not used to saying when you're talking about Amboy, especially during this run over the last 3 years. They're usually doing the bullying, and here they're getting bullied in return by their rival here, Polo.
Absolutely. And they, as Jeff said, their only time they trailed in a game late was the opening week against Milledgeville, and then they answered back and got that rematch victory last week.
Here's Lopez. He'll take the handoff past the 25-yard line. That's going to be a good carry on first down, staying ahead of the sticks. He'll get to about the 28-yard line, so give him a gain of 6. 7:20 to go here. Second down and about 4 upcoming as Lopez gets the carry there on first down.
Jeff, if I'm not mistaken, that one of the bigger runs for Amboy here thus far, that's 6 yards.
It is the biggest. Well, I take that back.
No,
Heath had one for 12 earlier.
McCoy is the deep back as they turn and hand it off to McCoy as he breaks through right side. He breaks some tackles. McCoy going to be near the line to gain. And that was a hard run right there. They're not making any of these runs easy, are the Marcos, as he'll be set up at about the 31-yard line. It'll be third down and a short one. 6:45 to go here in the first half.
Mercer Mumford, 83 on the stop for the Marcos. It looks like about a yard or so short of the marker on the far side. 3rd and 1.
Third down and 1. 31-yard line on the right side. 14-0 Polo. Who saw this one coming? Big play here for the Clippers as they get ready for this one. Caden Heath is the back. They turn and hand it off to him. He runs it right up the gut, and Caden Heath is going to have a first down as they move it to the 34-yard line. Caden Heath, 5'8", 160-pound running back, the junior, getting a first down, a big first down for the Clippers.
JT Stevenson, number 2 on the stop.
As we approach 6 minutes to go here, the Clippers break the huddle here. Tanner Welch. We got Colt McCoy in the backfield. I formation, takes it, hands it off, back to McCoy. He runs left side, and he's going to be met almost immediately. Once again, that's going to be a 2-yard gain on that carry to McCoy. I mean, it just seems like every play that we're seeing here, Polo is either in the backfield or they're at the line of scrimmage, causing problems here for Amboy.
Again, like we said earlier, just good. Outside of the one run from Heath, they've had good containment. The Marcos have on defense, not letting Amboy get much going on the offensive sets.
I formation here as we got 2nd down and 7, ball at the 38. Here's the handoff to Lopez. Lopez gets a hole, and there he goes. Here's Lopez past midfield. Here's Lopez down the sideline. Spun out past the 30. What a run by Lopez. The first big play of the ball game for the Clippers as now they're knocking on the door.
Eli Perez, 32 on the stop for the Marcos. Just said, Polo doing a good job of containment. And the Amboy offensive line getting a bigger push that time and a big run for Lopez.
So the quick almost a no huddle. They hand it back to Lopez. He runs left side.
There he
goes Lopez again. He's got nobody in front of him. Touchdown Clippers. What a drive for Jose Lopez. 5 minutes to go. The Clippers are on the board here, 14-6.
Lopez with back-to-back runs of 32 and 29 to get Amboy on the board here. And with a 2-point conversion, it'll cut this lead to 6.
So waiting that 2-point conversion here as they go I formation. Welch got Lopez back there with him. We got a whistle and a timeout. Amboy wants to talk this one over. They didn't like what they saw. As you hate to burn a timeout there, especially after a touchdown, but you got to make sure everything's all right because every point is valuable here in the state championship game.
And it doesn't even need the state championship game. These extra points can win and lose games. Over the last 3 years of coaching, we've had games come down to 2 and 3 points, and you miss 2 or 3 extra points, and that's the difference in the game. They're down for they just scored, so they're not down 14 now, but a 2-point conversion here makes this a 6-point game. You know, and that's a big difference going into it later on in this contest.
Absolutely.
Not needing that extra possession or that extra conversion
Yes.
later in the game. It's very, very important. So every point valuable here, especially for the Clippers, who trailed 14-0 just a moment ago here. Welch in the I formation. Lopez there with him as he awaits the snap. They'll turn and hand it off. Lopez cuts back, runs his way up the middle, and he's going to get in. The 2-point try is successful. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Jose Lopez, a big possession for the Clippers. We'll step aside. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And welcome back. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, Jeff Borders on the call here this evening. 14-8 our score with 5 minutes to go here. Now this is where it gets interesting here, going towards the end of the half here, fellas. That was a huge touchdown for the defending state champions.
It was, and like we were talking about with the extra point, if they can hold Polo out again and come back and score, there's a big difference between 16 and the possibility of 14. Like if you fail the next time, it's a tie game still. But you get that other 2-point conversion, and now you're in the lead.
On a rainy night here, McNinch is going to go with the squib kick there as they'll take it and fall right down at about the 35-yard line. As that one taken by number 1, Jackson Willis.
That's my natural reaction, Chris. Every time one of our guys did that when there was room to pick up the ball and run, and I went, why did we fall down? Get that extra 4 yards. There's no one in front of you.
Yeah.
I wonder if some of that, though, he did have to jump up a little bit to get that ball, but
he fielded it cleanly.
On a wet night like tonight, you never know, I guess. It is coming down pretty good once again here at Monmouth. As we get ready for the first play of this possession here. Big play, a big possession, I should say, for the Marcos. Looking to knock off the 2-time defending state champion. There goes Mumford left side. He's got a big hole. He's past the line to gain. He'll be near the 45-yard line. Mercer Mumford finding holes and running right through him. He'll set up at about the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 12 on the carry there. Gain of 11, excuse me.
As I say, I wrote 11 in pen, and you said 12, but I'm glad you.
Yeah, I corrected myself there. Got a little ahead of myself here. 4:40 to go here, second quarter. JT Stevenson has the call from the sideline under the leadership of Ted Olston, one of the great coaches in the 8-man business in the state of Illinois. Under 4.5 to go. Stevenson takes it himself. He'll run left side. He's got a hole. Stevenson past midfield. He's near the line to gain. JT Stevenson, a gain of 9, maybe 8 on that carry. They mark it gain of 9. It'll be second down and 1.
Evan Flanagan, 83 on the stop for the Clippers.
As we approach 4 minutes to go here, first half. Mercer Mumford and JT Stevenson. It's been their show here so far as Stevenson has the call from Coach Olston. And this is a big drive for both sides here as you look at the Amboy side. Well, we'll talk about that here after this play. Stevenson awaiting the snap. Second and 1. Here's the snap. He rolls out right side looking to throw. Pressure comes. He rolls back. Stevenson still looking for help as he's going to run out of bounds. But he is going to be losing maybe 2 yards on that one. Guys, might have been a good idea maybe to just throw that one away.
Yeah, it's going to be a loss of 2. Ryland McNitch on the stop.
It was very slow developing. He had a guy come open
on the
backside going away from us. He came open there at the end, and he was wide open. But by that time, Stevenson had already turned and came back to this side, and all of his routes, it looked like, were taking him away from the way he rolled back around and then just stepped out of bounds. Like you said, it might have been a good time just to throw one away.
3:35 to go here. Clock is stopped. Stevenson awaiting the snap here on 3rd and 4. They take it, runs it up the middle.
Nope.
Stevenson going to be short of the line to gain. Might have got half of the yardage that he needed, however. That's going to make this 4th down call all the more interesting. 4th down and about 2.5 with 3:20 to go here in quarter number 2.
58, Trevor Stencil, 5'11 junior for the Clippers on the stop again. And 4th and 3, 4th and 2.
You've been averaging more than this per play, but at the same time, if you don't make this, you give Amboy, who's coming with some momentum, a chance at a shorter field than if you would to put this down in, like, say, the coffin corner.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe just a little soft punt.
Looks like Mumford, lining up towards the backside, and they're going to wind this one all the way down and eat up as much clock as they can.
Take a timeout.
Take a timeout. So Polo will talk this one over. But as we said, I was going to say there a few plays ago, fellas, I mean, this drive is so important for both sides because if Polo goes down and gets a score on this drive, you're looking at, right back to where you were if you're Amboy, who's trying to come back from arguably their biggest deficit of the season, trailing by 14 just a short time ago.
Yeah, if they were to go up right now at 20-8, if they scored without an extra point, it'd be 28, which is exactly what Amboy was down to Milledgeville at halftime week 1. They stop this, though, and they force a punt here depending on what Polo does coming out of this timeout. If Polo can get the first down, then they have the opportunity to go up 20 or 22 going into halftime.
And the big thing about that, to add to that, Jeff, Polo gets the football to start the second half.
So some big decisions here. We'll see what Polo decided coming out from the timeout.
It's going to be out 4th and 2.
Offense is on the field.
4th and about 2.5. JT Stevenson awaiting the snap here on this big 4th down. Stevenson moving a man in motion. Here's the snap. They're going to run it right up the gut. Stevenson gets an extra push. It's Mumford. Are they going to give him the spot? I don't think so.
Official on the far side, I'd say no.
The official on this side has moved a little closer to the line, but they needed to get to the 45-yard line, and I think they're going to be about a half of the ball short.
Of course, you got the Polo side on this side of the field.
You look where they put that ball.
And it looks like they're going to come measure this one.
If you look where that ball is from our vantage point, I do not think he got it.
And it looks like where the sticks are, they're right on that white line. So if it's not to the white line,
it's short of the.
It looks like it's short of the white line from where we're looking.
Yeah, you're going to see here on the TV screen that this ball is going to be about 6 inches short of the first down.
And it's going to be a big stop for Amboy, and now their offense will set up with excellent field position.
Oh, not even
6 inches.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. 2:36 to go as the Clippers will take over. What a stop there by the Clippers, and now the offense, which was rolling just a few moments ago here with Jose Lopez. We'll see if he gets some carries here as the Clippers look to go down and score on this possession. Polo gets the ball at the half, don't they?
Yes, they get the ball in the second half.
I formation as Lopez awaits in the backfield. Here's the snap, hands it off to Lopez, and he's met in the backfield. What a play by the Marcos! Getting into the backfield, Eli Perez stops him for a loss of 3.
And I think they're going to give him forward momentum up just a little bit, so it's going to be a loss of about a 2 1/3, but we'll say a loss of 2.
As we approach 2 minutes, no huddle here. I formation. They fake the handoff. Welch is going to throw this
Got a
one.
man.
Looking for a man left side.
It's Wynn.
He's got a man. Wynn has it inside the 35. What a play, Cody Wynn. Good throw by Welch. 2:03 to go here in the second.
Down to the 35, gain of 17.
That's what I was thinking, Chris.
They spin it, and I formation once again. Lopez awaiting the next snap. Here it comes. Lopez in the backfield, and there he goes. Right side to about the 35-yard line.
Looks like
Give
Mumford.
him about, actually, that's up to about the 30-yard line, That'll be a gain of 5. It'll be second down and 5.
Mumford on the stop, 83 for Polo as we're down to under a minute 45.
Welch, I formation again. Here's the snap. Pressure comes. They hand it off to Lopez. Going left side. He spins his way close to the line to gain. He'll be about 1.5 yards shy. It's third down and short. 1.5 minutes to go here in the first half. And they're going to go no huddle again here. Third down and about 2. I formation. Here's the snap. Hands it off. Right side. Lopez looking for a hole. Lopez going to jump his way past the 25. And he's got the line to gain to about the 23. Gain of 4, 1:15 to go. And Amboy keeps on rolling. The Clippers still no huddle. Welch with Heath in the backfield. Awaiting the snap, hands it off, going left side, cuts his way back right. He'll be stopped right about the 20-yard line, a gain of 3, 1 minute to go for the Clippers as they look to punch this one in going into halftime. I formation once again, Tanner Welch takes it, hands it off to Lopez, left side past the 20, cuts back to the 15. He's still on his feet, but he'll be taken back right to about the 15, a gain of 6 on that one. It'll be third down and about 2. As we're to 37 seconds left.
Amboy with 1 timeout remaining as well as Polo.
30 seconds, I formation, Lopez. Here's the it's Welch to Lopez. Right side, he's met. He's got a first down. He's near the 10-yard line. He'll be stopped at the 11. Clock will stop to move the chains.
And I think Coach Payne did take a timeout there.
And it does look like that's the case. So Coach Payne will call a timeout. What a drive here. It's amazing what momentum can do for a team, especially if you're able to get a defensive stop. They've turned it into offensive momentum, and here they come knocking on the door inside the red zone.
Yeah, that big pass to Win for 17 yards, that kind of broke up that monotony of the run there. They were able to get that big play, and then since then it's just been feeding Lopez all the way down, just averaging about 4 to 5 yards a carry here all the way down. 24.3 seconds left, and they got 11 yards to go.
And the other thing on that is the no huddle, as they've been quick to the line, the linemen getting up, getting back to the line of scrimmage quickly, and that really doesn't give a whole lot of time for Polo to make any kind of defensive substitutions or any defensive changes.
Or just breathe in this instance, as they've been going nonstop here all drive long. 24.3 seconds to go. Couple of plays left here for the Clippers, you think. Lopez in the backfield, Welch in the I formation. Here's the snap. They fake the handoff. He's going to look to throw. Right side looking for his man. It's in and out of the hands near the 5-yard line.
Wynn.
He was looking for Cody Wynn again. That one slipped out of his hands. 20 seconds to go, second and 10.
Mumford, I believe, on the coverage, 83 for Polo.
The trick I learned last week with Mumford, he's got the bright green and the bright red shoe on. It's real easy to find him on the field.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the game, about some basketball shoes last year with a different colored shoes, and we've got the neon pink and neon green for Mumford.
So after the incomplete pass, it's second down, 10 to go at the 11. I formation, Colt McCoy in the backfield. As Welch gets the sweep left side to McCoy. He's looking for the edge. He's going to get pushed out of bounds at about the 9-yard line. That one well covered by the Marcos. Shoved out of bounds at the 9. 15.7 seconds to go. Clock is stopped. McCoy a gain of 2.
Great job by Ethan Dewey, the end over there. Set that in. Never let him get outside of him. Forced him out of bounds, and he had the pursuit coming in behind.
The rain's still coming down here at Monmouth College. 3rd down and 8, ball at the 9. 15.7 seconds to go as Amboy looking to get into the end zone once again and potentially tie or even take the lead in a first half that's really been dominated by the Marcos. I formation, Welch. Got Lopez in the backfield once again. As he takes the snap, they're going to fake the handoff to Lopez. Looking to throw, throws it left side, got a man wide open in the end zone. That one's caught. Touchdown, Cody Wynn. And the Clippers have tied it with 10.2 to go here in the first half. What a drive by the Clippers, showing why they're a 2-time defending state champion. Touchdown with 10.2 to go, fellas. That was a work of art, that entire possession.
Wynn comes from the near side, tight end, runs a crossing route over. Everything flowed to the opposite side, left Wynn wide open.
Now Colt McCoy is going to line up as the quarterback for the 2-point try. He'll take it right side, looking to look for a block. And I think he's going to be short.
Good.
So we're going to be tied with 10.2 to go. 14 all our score. We'll step aside real quickly here as you're watching the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Every McDonough District Hospital sports medicine and rehabilitation patient receives one-on-one appointment times with a licensed staff member. They develop a personalized recovery and treatment plan to turn your setback into a comeback. We offer physical and occupational therapy, vestibular rehabilitation, speech-language pathology, cardiac and pulmonary rehabilitation, dry needling, and pelvic floor therapy. MDH, your community physical therapy partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
And welcome back. The I8FA State Championship here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, and Jeff Borders on the call here this evening. 10.2 seconds to go here. What a drive by Amboy to tie this thing up in a first half that felt like it was dominated by the Marcos, yet you look at the scoreboard, we're tied at 14, fellas.
It's been a game of quarters. Every team that's going to the north end zone has dominated the quarter.
On a rainy night here at April Zorn Memorial Field at Monmouth College, as Rylan McNinch, Chris, we talked last week about the great leg that he has. We might get to see it on display here. He might boom this thing as long as he can. No, he does not. He goes with the squib kick. I stand corrected. There's a return to the 25. He takes a knee. That's JT Stevenson with about 8.4 seconds to go. And we'll see if Polo is aggressive here with 1, maybe 2 plays left.
I would have to say that if you're going to take the knee in that situation,
you've got something drawn up.
You're probably going to run a play. If you get a chance for 2, you will. But then again, I also said squib earlier, and they pooch kicked it. So maybe they'll just take a knee here. But
I said boom it deep on that kick, and they pooched it on that. Who knows?
The thing is, he still kicked it down to the 20-yard line on a squib kick. So
true.
It's still the deepest kick we've had all night.
Now, Chris, you and I got to see a hook and ladder last week.
That
Will we
was
see
fantastic.
any shenanigans
And
here?
it doesn't
Looks
look like
not
it.
the case.
Nope.
Taking the knee, JT Stevenson, and we'll go to half. The way we started, tied up. Fellas, what a first half. The Marcos dominate the first quarter. The Clippers come back and dominate the second. We're all even after 2.
It was a crazy game. It looked like Polo just came out and had the throttle down in the opening quarter. But like you said, some momentum there for Amboy to get that score, the big 2-point conversion on that first touchdown drive. And then they just pound the ball. And then, like Jeff said, pound it, a little change looked, and pass for the touchdown.
Well, we'll step aside here as you're watching the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
My philosophy in pediatrics is definitely prevention, early intervention, and advocacy. Being an advocate for my patients is one of the main reasons why I got into pediatrics in the first place. I like working close with families and being able to empower moms, especially first-time moms, or empower any caregiver. MDH Peds gives that family-centered care. My name is Leilani Segura, and I am a pediatrician at McDonough District Hospital.
We're going to start with our players that are playing in tonight's championship game. Honorable mention All-State from Amboy, Evan Flanagan. All-State from Amboy, Trevor Stenzel. And Cody Wynn. All-State from Polo, honorable mention, Wyatt Plackno. And All-State from Polo, Mercer Mumford and Damon Rowe. And now our honorable mention team. From Alden Hebron, Fabian Carreno. From Hiawatha, Aiden Cooper. From South Fork, Carter Elder. From Cissna Park, Skylar Este. From Cambridge, Gavin Franks. From South Beloit, Chase Harrington. From West Carroll, Roger LeBourne. From South Fork, Cash O'Connell. From South Beloit, Valente Ortega. From Milledgeville, Caleb Sarber. From Metro East Lutheran, Tim Shilby. From Orangeville, Hayden Schofield. From St. Anne, Brandon Schoth. From Metro East Lutheran, Ian Skelton. From Christian Life, Fred Swain. And from South Fork, Judy Walker. And now for our All-State team. From Alden Hebron, Louis Beganis. From South Fork, George Bailey. From West Carroll, Aiden Buckholtz. From South Beloit, Caden Cook. From Milledgeville, Kyson Francis. From Metro East Lutheran, Landon Jefferson. From St. Anne, Matthew Langelier. From Milledgeville, Carter Livengood. From South Fork, Brody Lush. From Cissna Park, Dirks Newcomb. From Milledgeville, Spencer Nye. From Metro East Lutheran, Abe Oberhauser. From West Central, Keaton Rubish. And from Pawnee, Caden Ward. Let's hear it for our 2025 I8FA All-State team.
And welcome back to the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, and Jeff Borders joining me here from April Zorn Memorial Stadium here at the campus of Monmouth College. Fellas, it's like you said earlier, right before we went to half there, Jeff, it's a tale of two quarters. Polo dominating quarter number one, but boy, what a response by the two-time defending state champion Amboy Clippers.
Yeah, sometimes you just have that the one end zone seems to favor all the scoring, and tonight it's been the north end zone. As we said, Polo came out the first two drives, able to take it right down the field. Didn't look like there was much that Amboy could do to stop them, and then we swapped the quarter, and next thing you know, it's the exact opposite. Amboy marches it twice right down the field, including the score right there before the end of the half.
Polo getting some big plays from Mercer Mumford here. He made a statement, but then it was Jose Lopez, a couple of the superstars here, Chris. Kind of the guys you expected to make an impact on this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Lopez coming off that 3-touchdown, 206-yard performance last week, up near just short of 100 yards on 15 carries. So the outside of a couple of big plays, Polo really did a good job keeping Lopez and company in check and not really letting them get outside or getting, like I said with Lopez, he's not used to having to tiptoe around and wait for holes to open up with that Amboy offensive line. And he's had to do that on several occasions tonight.
Certainly has. And fellas, what do you think the big X factor is going to be here as we get ready to play the second half here from Monmouth College?
It's going to be who can control the point of attack. And both of these teams want to run the ball. They want to be power run teams. And the key for both of them is controlling that point of attack, whether it be if they want to be a power run team up the middle. We've seen Amboy's success come from that middle run with Lopez as he broke a few of them. We've seen Polo's successes come from the outside run with Mumford.
So with all that, our halftime show will continue as we're going to step aside here. We're going to chat with the I8FA president, a fella you saw out on the field there just a moment ago. John Lawler going to join us here on TSSR Game Time Live. It's presented by MDH.
And welcome back to halftime here. It's the coach, the president, the man, the myth, the legend, John Lawler with us. Coach Lawler, thanks for talking to us, and again for letting TSSR Game Time Live do the state championship game for I8FA.
You guys do a great job. It's been a good partnership so far. So.
Well, I appreciate it. We have a lot of fun, and even though I run around here and get angry and nothing ever seems to work the way I want it to, but you know how that goes, right?
Oh, I do. When you're trying to put something like this on, nothing ever seems to go exactly.
As long as it looks okay on the product that goes out, even if it wasn't exactly how you want it, that's what matters, right? You got the field lined, you're ready to go.
Ready to go.
Really exciting to have Illinois Farm Bureau on this year, isn't it?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge, yeah. I mean, it's nice to get a company, a business organization, I should say, like that to jump on board and believe in what we're doing. It's a perfect fit. Rural schools, country kids playing football, just the way it should be. It couldn't be a better sponsor.
And you know something about that country kid, farm kid playing football and all that stuff, don't you?
Yeah, quite a bit.
I tell you what, the game tonight, obviously we're recording this before, and so we don't know how the game's going.
Right.
But I think people are anticipating this game quite a bit.
I think so. I think so. The two teams are, they run the ball, they play solid defense. Defense wins championships, right? I still believe that, and both of these teams play really solid defense. So this might not be, I'll say this, and I'll probably jinx us, but this might not be a 50-52 game. This might be a 21-20 game.
Or a 12-7 game.
Yeah, kind of like that Orangeville Polo game. Yeah.
That was the first game we did, and everybody told me, you're going to score a ton of points, you're going to score a ton of points, and it didn't work that way, did it?
No. And you could, I think you'll see a little more than that with the explosiveness of these teams, but I do hope it's a good, close game.
As we sit here, another year for I8FA's in the books. What's the state of I8FA for you as the president right now? You feel like it's in the right spot and heading in the right direction?
I think we're the strongest we've ever been. We just came off our most competitive season ever, and I can honestly say that. You saw the playoffs. I mean, some very competitive games, strong teams. You know, more teams talking about joining. You know, we've got 2 for sure that are considering already next year, and then 2 or 3 more for the following year, because we're kind of in the middle of that co-op situation. So I didn't expect a lot of movement this year, but we've got a couple that are talking. I'm hoping we can get 1 or 2 of the teams back that had to cancel their season. So if that's the case, maybe we're at 34, 35 teams, and that's the most ever. And honestly, I'm really happy with where we're at. I'm happy with the product we're putting on the field, and I'm most happy with the experience we're giving the kids. And it's everything plus some that they could get playing in the I8FA.
And that's really what this is about, right? I mean, when you guys came together as a group and started the 8-man I8FA, was for the schools that, you know, and people talk, well, Amboy's got so many kids playing, they're a big school, they got so many kids playing. They didn't have so many kids playing back. There's a reason why they went to I8FA. And winning breeds numbers in a lot of ways. But it's doing exactly what you guys wanted to do, allowing the communities and the kids to still have football.
Right, their own football too.
Right.
Not, you know, Polo is a perfect example of it too. When they joined us, they were down, I think that last year playing 11-man to 18 kids. You know, so they made the move over, and that was a big move that helped pull some other teams with, and it just shows. And now look at their roster.
Right.
It just shows that success breeds success. You're putting your kids in a competitive situation, and it's good for your team, it's good for the community, it's great for your kids.
Yeah, and you know, I've learned to love 8-man football maybe as much or more than 11-man. And I say that because I hear all the time, oh, it's not real football, or they don't hit, or tell you what, this postseason, we've seen some huge hits, and Mumford took one of those shots last week at South Fork. They might have won that game, but he took a huge hit last week.
Yeah, he did, and he's probably still a little sore from that hit. We were at a fundraiser, and we were watching the broadcast out there, all the group from Hebron, and yeah, it was a huge hit. But, you know, I remember when we first started, everybody thought, oh, it's going to be like arena ball. It's not arena ball. There's no running starts. There's none of that. It's football, and if you ask the kids, they don't know the difference when they're out there playing. Yep, it feels a little bit narrower. That's it.
You know, and even calling the game, 11-man's just more cluttered. I mean, when I go back to call an 11-man game, it's just more cluttered. Because the 2 of the 3 people that are extra in 11-man, or short in 8-man, whatever way you want to look at it, are extras. I mean, they're linemen that you don't talk about, unfortunately. You don't talk about them very often. So maybe you're missing a fullback who you a lot of times don't talk about either, right? So I mean, it's almost like you're not missing.
Well, and I said when we first started doing it, you know, coming from a little school like Albany, for a lot of years, even when we were having our best years in 11-man, I always said to be a good coach, you got to be able to hide a kid or 2,
right?
You know, and protect the kid or 2. And in 8-man, that's harder to do, because now those 2 or 3 or 4 guys that you used to be able to protect and kind of hide, you know, make them not be as big a part of the play. You can't do that out here with only 8 in a narrow field. You can't do that. Right. You know, so it's a little tougher to coach, honestly.
Yeah, and that backside guy that you might hide is suddenly the guy that you need to track something down, and that doesn't work so good.
Yeah, not all the time. No.
Where do you see 8-man going in the future?
You know, I think we've kind of leveled off a little bit in growth, but I think a lot depends too. You know, you've probably heard these bylaw proposals that are up in the I8FA, and you know, the situation with the 11-man, and some teams trying to chase that 5th win, and if they can settle that all down, I can see it kind of everything settling down with the 11-man and 8-man. If things don't go that way, I could see us gaining some more teams yet. I could see us maybe hitting that 45 team mark, you know, eventually. That would be okay. We don't have to do that. I think the product we're putting on the field right now is a pretty good product for small school football. So, you know, I'm really kind of tired, in all honesty, of hearing, you know, people still 8 years later talk about, you know, well, it's really legit. Well, they haven't been paying attention.
Right.
If they haven't watched or they haven't come to a game, if they don't see how legit it really is, then they're really not paying attention. So I don't think we need to even discuss that anymore. Come and watch the game. Watch the game tonight, and watch small town high school football.
And the crowds that it draws.
Oh, it's fantastic, and you know the playoff crowds, unbelievable.
They've been great.
And the positive about that is the schools, they keep all of it.
They don't. None of it goes to the sanctioning body, for lack of a better term.
This is the only game that we take the gate, and that's just to keep the association afloat, honestly. That, you know, to help promote it a little bit. Other than that, it's the schools. It's their product. It's their kids. It's their community.
Well, one last thing before I let you go, and I think I looked here a little bit. You gotta. I don't know whether it makes it more legit or not, but for the first time, the I8FA is having a coaches clinic.
Second time.
Second time.
But
it's all 8-man stuff.
Yeah, we're trying to do one, and there again, we're not trying to step on the Illinois Coaches Association at all. But we're trying to get a few different speakers, all 8-man. We're going to host it down at Peoria Heights. It's February 28th, 9 to 3. We've got 4 speakers coming in. They're all going to be from out of state. So we're trying to bring in knowledge to our coaches from guys that have been coaching and playing for years. And trying to get a couple guys from Iowa. We've got a couple guys from Wisconsin coming down. And Farm Bureau's going to help. They don't know it yet, but they're going to help with that a little bit. So, it's fun. I want to get them involved more, hopefully, in the future, and because I do feel like it's a great fit for us.
Well, pregame show went off, and first half's done. You got probably while we're talking, or shortly before, you were out handing out all-state awards. That's a pretty fun thing to do too, isn't it?
That's a great thing. To me, that's a highlight of the night, because just looking at those boys, shaking their hands, and give them the chance to collect that award, you know, here, and you guys are usually filming with it, and parents seeing them get that award, that's a big deal for them, you know. And I mean, it's special, and they get to go, you know, the first team guys get to also go to the I8FA and get theirs too. So, but yeah, we try to make a big deal of it for the kids. And, you know, it's all about the memories, because as we know, you know, you're not going to remember that C or D you got on your science test. You're going to remember it.
You didn't get a C or D on your science test.
Probably 1 or 2.
Coach, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you letting us be a part of this.
No problem.
And I've got a bunch of people here that are making it happen, and I can't thank them enough. Can't thank you enough. We'll look forward to seeing you over the winter and get ready for another year.
We'll try. Hey, shout out to Monmouth College too.
Oh, yes.
I mean, Coach Haynes, Nathan, Coach Braun, they've treated us so well. We couldn't do this without them. And it's huge, you know, and like I said, it's been a great fit, and I can't think of moving it anywhere else, not right now anyway.
I agree. All right, well, that'll do it for our Halftime with the Prez. That's going to be our new thing, Halftime with the Prez.
Oh, boy.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back with the guys in the second half right after this. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
And welcome back to the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Reikhauser, Jeff Borders joining me here from April Zorn Memorial Field here on the campus of Monmouth College. And fellas, we are at the half. We are tied at 14 between Polo and Amboy. 2 quarters remain from crowning a state champion. Possibly a 3rd straight for Amboy or Polo getting their 3rd state title here in 8-man football. We're going to be in for a great second half. I can't wait for the second half to get underway.
Should be a dandy.
Go over some stats real quick from the first half. We'll start with the visiting Amboy Clippers. Jose Lopez, 15 carries for 98 yards, including 2 touchdowns that brought this game back to the score that we're at now. From McCoy, 4 carries for 4 yards, and Keith with 3 carries for 22 yards. Passing, Welch is 3 for 6.
I'm sorry, 4 for 6 for a total of 32 yards, and all of his completions have been to win for the 32 yards. For the Fighting Marcos of Polo, Stevenson and Mumford have been the only 2 names you needed to know tonight. 9 carries for 40 yards for Stevenson, and Mumford is up to 14 carries for 130 yards and the 2 touchdowns for the Marcos.
So we talked a little bit about it, though, before we went to our interview with John Lawler, but, this game has it's just kind of wild how this game has flipped on its head twice, where you saw Polo get out to such a fast start here, then you had the defending state champion Amboy get back into it. What do you think, is going to be the key here as we get ready to go here, starting quarter number 3, Chris, as every play just takes on a little bit more meaning here with only 2 quarters left in the season?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Polo is going to come out. They, like we said, first quarter was all Polo. Second quarter, all Amboy. I'm interested to see how Polo is going to come out here and respond to how things went in that second quarter. They will get the football and see if they can get back to some of that momentum that we saw in the opening quarter.
But for Amboy, as we saw at the end of that quarter there, as we take a look at the rain there on your screen, it's been one of those nights here in West Central Illinois. But Jeff, you saw at the end of the half, you saw Amboy run with a little bit of pace. Do you expect maybe the Clippers to go to that pace as we get ready to start quarter number 3?
I wouldn't expect to see it. I think that's more of a 2-minute offensive drill that you're bringing in. They short time, needed to get down quick, get to the line and go. I think you're going to see that because the drive before they were back to their regular, slow, grinded out process. And I expect that's what you're going to see. I don't think you're going to see many changes on the offensive side from either one of these teams. The defensive, what we need to do to stop what has hurt us is what you're going to see the changes in.
Well, folks, we're just under 2 minutes to go here in the halftime as the Marcos of Polo and the Clippers of Amboy 2 quarters away from crowning a state champion. Will we see a third straight championship for Amboy, or will the Marcos claim their third state title here in 8-man football? I tell you, it's been 2 Titans, and we got the game that we were really hoping for here. I mean, a lot of times we get to these state championship games and one team powers through another, but, I mean, both these teams about as even as can be, and that shows on the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw that last year. We thought things were going to be close the last couple of years in some of the state title games, the 2 for Amboy, and kind of got pretty lopsided pretty early on. And this one, we're back to square one. Both teams tied at 14 as we are just about set for the second half.
And we appreciate you joining us here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, and Jeff Borders on the call here this evening. 2 quarters away from crowning a state champion. We appreciate John Lawler, the I8FA president, joining us during the halftime. Good conversation there with Dwayne. 8-man football on display here for the state of Illinois. Only high school football game going on here in the state tonight. So we're having some fun here while the spotlight is bright as Rylan McNinch will come and boot this one away as we're ready for the third quarter.
Will the trend continue? We saw Polo kick off to begin the game this same direction that Amboy is, but Polo had all the success. So maybe once again it's going to be a could it be the north end zone?
It could be.
Well, McNinch comes up, and he'll get ready to boot this one away. It's a short pooch kick. Is that one going to go towards the sideline? Picked up by Mumford at the 20-yard line. Now they hand it off, a little reverse play to the 25, and shoved out of bounds. That is Jordan Reed, the first time we've said his name here today. He had a couple of big carries in the semifinal game, or excuse me, in the quarterfinal game, I should say, that I did against St. Anne. Jordan Reed, a very big back. Surprised we haven't seen him much here in this ball game there, guys.
Not yet, but still half of football to go. I think good job by Amboy not biting on that the reverse.
I just wonder if there's any relation.
No, there is not any relation. Not that I'm aware of.
You put it on a tee. I've got to hit it. That was an easy one.
You know, the Reed name does carry some weight in this state, so who knows? We get ready to go here as the first play of the second half. Stevenson will take it right side. He is met, and now he goes up the middle, past the 30-yard line. JT Stevenson, a good 6-yard gain on that first play, up to the 31-yard line, and the Marcos starting this possession off on a bright side there, gain of 6.
Good vision by Stevenson there as he saw the opening. He wanted to get outside, saw that hole open, cut it up, and was able to get 6 yards on first down.
Well, they mark him maybe a gain of 5 either way. Ball will be at the 31-yard line. The rain continues to fall here at April Zorn Memorial Field here at Monmouth College. Second down, upcoming, 2nd and 5. Stevenson awaiting the snap as JT Stevenson has it in the shotgun, hands it off to Mumford. He's going to run his way. He's hit as he gets past the 32, maybe to the 33-yard line. We'll see where they mark him. 33, gain of 2. It'll be 3rd down and 3. 1 minute gone here in quarter number 3.
Caden Heath, number 2, on the stop for the Clippers.
There's a big 3rd down here, and you just feel like momentum weighs on this play here. These next couple of plays, potentially. Marco's trying to take it back after the Clippers took all the momentum in quarter number 2. 3rd down and 3 as we await the next snap. Stevenson. He's got Damon Rao in the backfield with him. As Stevenson going to take it himself, looking for some blocks. He is up to about the 33, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, maybe to the 34. He'll be stopped short. 1 yard gain on the play. It'll be a big play here, potentially on 4th down with 10:20 to go here in the 3rd.
Jose Lopez in the 5'6" junior. Call his name on offense a lot, but he's a heck of a defender and got in there, got Stevenson around the ankles and held him short of the 1st down marker.
And it looks like Mercer Mumford will come out to punt this one away here with his odd shoes, 1 green and 1 pink here tonight. Back to receive the kick is Colt McCoy. Awaiting the snap for the punt. Mumford boots that one.
There's some contact. No flop. There is a flag.
Oh, and this could be a big play here, as if that is on
Amboy.
They do call that. It'll be a free 1st down there, and we haven't seen any penalties here in this game of note. We saw a false start, but other than that, not much here in this ball game, but that could really swing things here and add to this possession here for the Marcos.
He believe he's calling it a 5-yard running into the kicker call, but even that's still going to be enough for the 1st down.
Evan Flanagan was the Clipper that got in there. We saw him block the kick last week against Milledgeville. He's the one that got in there but couldn't hold up in time, and the 5-yard mark-off is going to be enough for a 1st down.
And that is a back-breaking penalty here. 9:44 to go here in quarter number 3.
2 total penalties for 10 yards against Amboy, and that's all we have all night.
So the ball will be marked at the 38-yard line as we'll get back underway here. The Marcos will have their offense back on the field here. 9:44 to go here as Stevenson, bunch set, they turn and hand it off. Running his way, there goes Mumford! He's got a hole down the right sideline! Turns on the Jets, 25! There goes Mumford inside the 15! Near the 10! What a run by Mercer Mumford!
52. On the carry.
9:31 to go. They mark him down at the 13-yard line. Mercer Mumford, what a run! Setting up the Marcos here inside the red zone.
Cody Wynn, the first Amboy player to bring him down. 54. We'll call it a 54-yard run.
54-yard run for Mumford. And that, just taking advantage of that penalty here. We saw the first mistake here in the second half. Amboy makes that mistake. And here with 9:23 to go, here the Marcos set up inside the red zone. Stevenson gives it to the big man, running it up near the 10-yard line. We'll get the number on him.
75.
75.
Wyatt Plashno.
250-pound, 6'3" senior for Polo.
Wouldn't want to be in the hole with him running at you there, would you there, fellas? My goodness. Gain of 3. 2nd and 7, 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd.
We saw him last week carry the ball a couple of times, just one of those little change of pace things. You're so used to seeing Stevenson and Mumford, just those speed guys and able to cut back, and then they just bring the big man through like a wrecking ball.
That was the first carry by somebody other than Stevenson or Mumford in the contest.
Here's the snap. They hand it back to Mumford. He'll run it right side past the 10-yard line. He's going to be down to about the 8-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain on 2nd and 7.
Flanagan and I think maybe Heath was the other Amboy player on the stop.
8:25 to go here. 3rd down and about 5. Mercer Mumford, that 54-yard gain to set up Polo. Now you got to cash it in here. Still can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown. Couple of big plays here for momentum in this ball game as we just get the second half underway. Good to have you with us here tonight. I8FA State Championship. Mumford in the backfield. It'll be JT Stevenson awaiting the snap. Stevenson takes, fakes the pitch, looks to throw. Stevenson going to throw it right side. He's going to have it close to the 6-yard line.
Number 3, Damon Rowe, 6'3", tight end, senior, on the catch.
They mark him out at the 7, so it's only a 1-yard gain. So it'll be 4th down and 4 upcoming and a huge play call here on both sides. 4th and 4, 7:52 to go here. Clock stopped as it was ran out of bounds. Jordan Reed coming in from the sideline here, so he will check in. JT Stevenson, 54. Esteban Salinas will check out. Big 4th down, 4th and 4. Stevenson with Reed in the backfield. Here's the snap, looks to throw. Throwing it left side. Has a man! That one is caught, but he's going to be well short, as that was caught by Mercer Mumford. Well, he might be short, and we'll see
short.
the far sideline. They might have a first down. They do have a first down. They mark him at the 6-yard line.
No, he was 3 yards short. They're marking first down. First and
down
goal
the
for
other way.
Amboy.
My apologies.
1st and 10 for the Clippers. Cody Wynn, number 3 on the coverage.
And
I think Coach Olston's pretty. There was a lot of contact between Wynn and Mumford down here on the pass play before the completion. And I think Coach Olston maybe would have liked to see the penalty flag on that.
So Amboy will take over here after a big 4th down stop after the big play by Mumford earlier in the drive. Here's the handoff. A penalty flag comes out. And this one, we'll see what it is. They'll mark it at the 10-yard line as that carry, I believe that was by Colt McCoy, number 4.
I think actually Lopez.
No, I'm sorry. I was giving you the 4 for 4 yards, but
yeah, I think it was Lopez. And it's a hold on the Clippers.
So they'll back that half the distance to the goal here. And this play will now take place at the 3-yard line here.
Interesting.
Or no, they only mark it back, so they only mark it at the 5-yard line, so it'll be first down and 11 at the 5. Spot foul? Was that a spot foul potentially?
It should have been a spot foul, but I'm guessing they just marked it half the distance, so 4 yards from the 8 wouldn't put it at where.
You're right on that.
Just short of the 5.
7:38 to go here as we await the next snap. Welch turns, hands it off to Heath, running left side, as he'll get past the original line of scrimmage, close to the 10-yard line. He'll be down at about the 8-yard line. Gain of maybe 2 on the play. 2nd down and 9. 7:25 to go here, quarter number 3, as they'll be set up with 2nd down and about 8.
Yeah, so gain a 3 on that.
Caden Heath on that carry. 5'8", 160-pound junior for the Clippers. High formation, Colt McCoy, the deep back here for Tanner Welch. Welch takes the snap, hands it off to McCoy. He runs his way past the 10-yard line. He's going to be close to the line to gain. He's going to fall forward.
It's going to be close.
He's going to be just short, I think.
He might be about a half a yard shy. It'll be 3rd down and inches as McCoy gains 8 on that 2nd down and 9 play. As Amboy looks to keep this drive alive here as the rain falling down here. That's not slowing these fans down. 3rd down and 1. 6:35 to go here, fellas.
Great turnout from both schools.
Oh, I was thinking it was 4th, but yeah, with the penalty, I guess this is 3rd and short now.
Tanner Welch got Jose Lopez in the backfield with him. Here's the snap. They hand it off to Lopez. He runs it back right side. Big hole. There goes Lopez. 35 to the 40. One man to beat. That's Mumford. Makes him miss. 30-yard line. Cuts back. Another miss. There he goes. Lopez inside the 10. Marked down near the 5. What a run. Jose Lopez, the hero last week for the Clippers, and he's showing off here in the state championship.
Ethan Dewey with finally bringing Lopez down inside the 10. What a couple of moves by Jose Lopez.
79 yards on the carry.
79-yard run. That'll set him up at the 6-yard line. As Marco's trying to get somebody off the field, they'll turn and hand it off to him again. He cuts back right side. He's past the 5, near the 3-yard line. Lopez will get about half of it. 5:50 to go here, 3rd quarter, as Amboy knocking on the door.
Rowan Mumford on the stop for the Marcos.
Chris, you and I were in Amboy last week, though, and we saw Amboy a couple of times get down inside the 10-yard line, but struggled to punch it in here, but haven't had trouble here the last couple of possessions. They got inside the red zone. I formation, Lopez. Here's the snap. Hands it off. Back to Lopez. Runs his way up the middle, left side, into the end zone. Touchdown, Clippers. Jose Lopez does it again. from 3 yards out, 5:23 to go, 20-14 Clippers.
First lead for Amboy in the contest. A heavy dose, as you would expect, of Jose Lopez on that series.
As the 2-point try here, as they've got Caden Heath now lined up as the back. They pitch it to him left side. Running his way in, Caden Heath has the 2 points. And the Clippers have an 8-point lead here, 5:23 to go in quarter number 3. We'll step aside. You're watching the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And welcome back to the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, Jeff Borders on the call here from April Zorn Memorial Field here at Monmouth College. A touchdown after a big series from Jose Lopez, doing all the heavy lifting, and the Clippers with their first lead here in the state championship.
And let's not take away from the defensive stance that got them the ball back. Polo was threatening deep in Amboy territory. Get a turnover on downs, leads to a score.
As Rylan McNinch will boot this one towards the sideline. That's going to check up at the 20-yard line. Mumford going to hand it off, fake the handoff on the reverse, and he's going to get up to about the 30-yard line.
About a 10-yard return for Mumford.
And that's where the Marcos will set up here as Polo.
Mumford is hurt.
And Mumford a little slow to get up, as he'll limp around, but this is one of the toughest kids in really all of 8-man football. Again, in the quarterfinals, you didn't know whether or not he was going to play or not until Friday at about 4 o'clock when he showed up at practice. Ended up scoring 3 touchdowns in that quarterfinal matchup against St. Anne, and then had another big game in a game against South Fork. So this kid, not going to let it slow him down here, fellas.
We did see him come out quite a few times last week, hobbled, so let's hope this isn't something lingering from last week.
5:14 to go. They'll set up at the 30-yard line. They'll hand it off to Mumford, and he's going to be met almost immediately as that one up to about the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. They do give him a yard, but that is not much for Mercer Mumford as we are under 5 minutes to go here in quarter number 3.
And he's going to come off the field.
Yeah, he's limping pretty noticeably now.
Last week, I think it was a cramping issue. This one here, he kept grabbing like the shin and knee area.
So JT Stevenson has the call as he'll come back and set up the offense here. We'll see who they put in the
Damon
backfield.
Rowe, number 3.
Damon Rowe, number 3, is back there. He'll take it himself, though, Stevenson, looking for a hole. Stevenson is going to make his way not very far. Gain of 1, maybe 2 on the play.
Lopez again on the stop, as well as number 60, Owen Loomis.
And this Clippers defense has been playing so well here, really dating back to late in the first quarter here, as they've been able to stop this Marcos offense outside of the big play, but then they were able to tighten up on that red zone trip just a few moments ago.
Mumford limping back in, bringing the play in with him on this one.
So 3rd down and 7, ball will be at the 33-yard line as awaiting the snap here, Mumford. And Mumford will take it. He'll run it right side, looking for a hole, and that one is sealed off by the Clippers. Getting back there, big number 83, Evan Flanagan. Also, number 58, Trevor Stencil. Those two fellas have been making an impact, and looks like Mumford might be down once again with 3:44 to go here in the 3rd.
I think it was Stencil that kind of held up the play for Flanagan to be able to make the stop.
So they'll attend to Mercer Mumford here as he's on the far side. As John, maybe we'll step aside here as we've got the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
My philosophy in pediatrics is definitely prevention, early intervention, and advocacy. being an advocate for my patients is one of the main reasons why I got into pediatrics in the first place. I like working close with families and being able to empower moms, especially first-time moms, or empower any caregiver. MDH Peds gives that family-centered care. My name is Leilani Segura, and I am a pediatrician at McDonough District Hospital.
I'm Lindsay Schaefer. I'm a physical therapist specializing in pelvic floor physical therapy here at McDonough District Hospital Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Young women, a lot of them have pelvic pain. They don't realize that it's something that they don't have to live with anymore. It's very common for people to have urinary leakage. And I always say it's common, but it's not normal. It's not something you need to live with. I also focus on hip pain, back pain. It's all kind of connected. Any age really can benefit from it.
And welcome back. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, and Jeff Borders on the call here. As you see on the bottom of your screen, Mercer Mumford getting helped off the field there. Fellas, potentially a huge loss for Polo, who's trying to knock off the two-time defending state champions. That's a big blow to their offense, though.
It is. He's been their leading rusher tonight, and if they don't have him, they're going to have to next man up kind of mentality.
And Mumford the punter, so we're going to see a new number, I believe, 14.
Jordan Reed will come in and do the punting here and that one is a short punt, high into the sky, however. It'll go past midfield, takes a good pull, hop inside the 35. That'll go to about the 30-yard line, and that's where the Clippers will take over. 3:16 to go here in the third. But things have certainly changed here, as it's been all Clippers dating back to late in the first quarter here. They have dominated. Now they lead on 3 straight touchdowns.
I just want to touch on something real quick. Those in the chat, keep the chat clean. Keep it related to the game. No, some of you already noticed you probably can't join the chat anymore. The guy monitoring it will block you, so let's keep it clean and let's keep it relevant.
Absolutely.
We're here to watch sports, have some fun. That's what brings us all together here as we are awaiting the next snap. Welch fakes the handoff, looking to throw. Welch, he's pressured! He gets taken down inside the 20! Good pressure by the Marcos!
Damon Rowe comes in for the big sack.
I was just going to say, Heath lucky to hold on to the foot. I thought, great job by Heath hanging on to that football.
They mark it on the outside of the 20-yard line, so maybe a generous...
Tanner Welch, my apologies, not Heath. Welch, the quarterback for
the
Amboy.
They faked the handoff to him originally. 9-yard loss on that play. It's 2nd and 19 at the 21. They hand it off, running it left side. Lopez breaks through tackles. He's past the original line of scrimmage, past the 35. What a run by Lopez.
Jordan Reed on the stop.
He's going to be stopped about 2, maybe 3 yards short of the line to gain, and now Amboy running with some pace here. I formation, 3rd down and 2. Here's the snap. They hand it off to Lopez again, looking for a hole, and the Marcos have that one sealed up near the 35-yard line. Lucky to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they spot it. It'll be 4th down and 2 with 2 minutes to go here in the third.
And it looks like they're going to come right to the line of scrimmage again here on 4th down. Now I think the coach told them to hang up for a second, but it's a big 4th, and we're going to call it a short 3, a long 2 for the Clippers.
As we got 1:50 to go here. And
looking to see if McNinch is out there, the punter, and I don't believe that he is.
I don't see him either, so we're at the 38-yard line. 2 yards to gain here on 4th down and 2. Big play here in this contest. I formation. Tanner Welch awaits the snap. And there was movement.
No, they're going to call offsides of the Polo. Polo Marcos came offsides.
It is a neutral zone infraction, so that'll be a free 1st down. So we've seen both teams a penalty given a free 1st down, and the Clippers will continue this drive.
That's so frustrating as a coach. You put them in pin them in that situation, and all you have to do is watch the ball.
So I formation again. Lopez, the deep back. Showing pressure is Polo. Here's the snap. They hand it off. Giving it to Lopez. Left side. Looking for a hole. There goes Lopez again. Past the 45. Jose Lopez. He's been running all over the Marcos here since the second quarter. Past the 45 to the 43. 1st and 10 Clippers.
And quick to the line again for the Clippers.
Tanner Welch, I formation. Lopez again, the deep back. They'll hand it off to him again. Running it right side. Penalty flag will come in. And this one might be coming back here as maybe moving a little too quick here potentially. A penalty flag, though, called as they'll mark him at the 40-yard line. Right now it's a gain of 3 for the Clippers.
Holding on the Clippers.
Holding is the call, so it'll be first, and we'll see where they mark it. This might be from the spot, so it'll be first and about 17. 1:08 to go here, quarter number 3. Quickly to the line again. Lopez, the deep back. Welch awaiting the snap. Takes the snap, hands it off. Back to Lopez. Cuts his way back. There goes Lopez through some tacklers. He's hit hard near the 35. Jose Lopez, though, close to the line again. He's about 2 yards shy. We're under a minute to go here in the third.
52 on the stop for the Marcos. Ethan Dewey.
45 seconds to go here. Second down and 2. Heath now the back. Here's the snap. Welch hands it off to Heath. He runs his way right side, spins his way past the 30. He'll be taken down as Caden Heath getting the carry for the Clippers.
Going to be enough for a first down.
Ball will be marked at the 28-yard line. 30 seconds to go. Heading back to that north end zone. As they look like the Clippers, they want to try to score on this north end zone maybe one more time. I formation. Lopez hands it off. To Lopez. As that was Welch turning and handing it off.
Still on his feet.
Still on his feet near the 25-yard line. He's a tough guy to bring down. He'll be near the 25. Mark him at the 24. 7 seconds to go. That's going to end quarter number 3. 22 unanswered points so far for the Clippers. Will the Marcos get an answer? They need one if they want to win a state championship. Fourth quarter coming up. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
My name is Kelsey Cunningham. I'm a nurse practitioner with the cardiology department here at McDonough District Hospital. Cardiology is like a big puzzle. A lot of things can be traced back to the heart, and to see somebody in your office at the beginning of the process really down on themselves and not feeling like their best self, and I think in their mind never really thinking that they're going to recover from that, to fast forward 6 months where they're back doing things they once did. It's the ultimate goal, and I love to see it happen.
And welcome back. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, Jeff Borders on the call here. Fourth quarter of action about to take place as the two-time defending state champion Amboy Clippers, 22 unanswered points. Marcos need a stop on this possession here, fellas, but the Clippers, they've been rolling here with all the momentum.
Yeah, absolutely, and since that first quarter, it's been the Clippers show for the second and the third as we're ready to start quarter number 4.
Quarter number 4, second down and 6 from the 24. Here's the snap as Welch hands it off to Heath. He'll run his way up the middle. Won't get much.
Couple.
Might be a yard if they're lucky. They give him a yard, so Caden Heath takes that carry. Be third down and 5, 11:45 to go here in the fourth.
This is big right now for Polo. They need to get 2 defensive stops right here, not give up a first down and get the ball back, because the momentum right now is definitely building on the Amboy side.
I formation, 3rd and 5 at the 23. Tanner Welch awaiting the snap. He's got Lopez in the backfield. They hand it off to Lopez. Runs his way through a hole. Cuts back left side. There goes Lopez inside the 5. There he is. Touchdown Clippers. Jose Lopez from 23 yards out. Another one for the defending state champions. 28-14 our score.
Score coming at 11-16 at the point in the fourth. Third touchdown of the night for Lopez.
That's 6 in the last 2 games, Chris. I mean, this kid has been something else, and he's a big reason why this Clippers team out in front here as we wait for the 2-point try. Welch hands it off to Lopez again, cuts his way left side. He gets through, and it's another 2-point try for the Clippers. They lead 30-14. just underway here in quarter number 4. We'll take a break. We're back after this. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. And welcome back. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, Jeff Porters on the call. Fellas, we got to keep it professional here as we get ready. Fourth quarter, 11:16 to go. Clippers, 30 unanswered points here. They lead 30-14.
He just doesn't understand how we work this. I'm going to touch on this real quick. 24 carries, 240 yards for Lopez so far.
Wow.
And
that's
the other
coming
thing,
off a 206-yard performance last week. On 29 carries last week.
And one thing we're probably not going to see as I'm watching the sideline down here is Mumford.
As that one goes through the legs of JT Stevenson, and that's going to go out of bounds inside the 10.
Oh, they're
going to throw the penalty flag, but I think Stevenson might have touched it. If that's the case, the Marcos will be set up inside the 10.
They've got wave it off.
They're waving the flag off. So, good heads-up play there by the officials. 30-14 again, our score. And you mentioned it, no Mumford here. That's going to put the Marcos really behind the 8 ball here, trying to slow down this Amboy team who scored 30 unanswered points.
Yeah, he's trying to run down below us, and it's
tough to watch.
He's holding the back of that left
calf
muscle.
Yeah. I think it is given up on him, but, I mean, it's gotten them this far here. So now who's going to step up here for the Marcos as they try to knock off the defending state champions? Marcos setting up at the 7-yard line. Here's Stevenson moving a man in motion. That is Reed, running it left side as he's going to get maybe back to the line, give him a yard, maybe 2. JT Stevenson on the first carry of this drive.
I think that was Lopez again on the stop, and a good job by Lopez. Went low on Stevenson and brought him down after wide of a gain of about a yard.
They mark him at the 8 as the clock ticks under 11 minutes to go here. Jordan Reed, he's got the play. And the Marcos will try to get some offense going here. Haven't heard much from their offense since the first quarter. JT Stevenson in the backfield in the shotgun, taking the snap. They're going to hand it off to Reed as he's coming towards us. Penalty flag comes out past the 10-yard line, but this one might be coming back, and things going from bad to worse for the Marcos here as we got 10:20 to go here in this quarter as the Clippers ramping up their crowd here, which are well represented.
Yeah, that Jeff and I both signaling when the flag came out that is going to be a hold.
So they'll move them back even further inside the
7.
10-yard line.
Looks like it's at about the 7.
10:20 to go here as there you see the Marcos, again, trying to come up with some kind of answers. JT Stevenson sprinting to the line with the play call. 10:10 to go. It'll be second down and about 10, so they're back to the original line of scrimmage. 2 wide receivers now on the left side for Stevenson. Awaiting the snap, they move a man in motion. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Stevenson, pressure comes. They set up a screen. They've got it to him. Damon Rao, there he goes. Rao with a couple of men to beat, and he's down near the 30-yard line. A good screen, a gain of 23 as the Marco offense out from the shadow of their own end zone. 9:49 to go here, and the Marcos are moving 1st and 10.
Colt McCoy on the stop for Amboy.
Setting up that screen, the pressure came from Flanagan. 9:42 to go here. The play call, JT Stevenson. Breaks the huddle. We'll see if they throw it a little bit more here as the rain looks like it's let up here at Monmouth College. 2 to the left, none on the right here. Stevenson takes the snap, looks to throw. Throws it left side. Rao had it in and out of his hands. That one slipped right out in one hand and out the other. 2nd down and 10, ball at the 30-yard line. Damon Rao, the 6'3", 200-pound senior tight end. He was the intended target on that one, as it has indeed let up here. The rain finally calming down. but still a very slippery field here at April Zorn Memorial Field here at Monmouth College. 9:25 to go. JT Stevenson has the play call, and they'll break the huddle here. JT Stevenson, bunch set here as Stevenson awaiting the snap. Takes it. He's going to use his feet this time, and in the backfield, there he is again! Evan Flanagan making a big play for the Clippers. A huge loss on that one. It'll be 3rd and long.
Back to about the, they're going to mark him at the 22. And Flanagan just shooting in again defensively for the Clippers. They're going to bring up a 3rd down and about 18.
Yeah. Yep.
6'1", 230 pounds, and that kid can fly, Evan Flanagan. And he's only a junior.
And the way he fought off that block, he was head up one-on-one with the guy, drove him back, sealed the edge, and just made the tackle himself.
2 to the left, none on the right. Here's the snap on 3rd and 17. Stevenson going to look to throw, launches this one down the left side. Has Reed as that one is complete. 45-yard line. What a throw by Stevenson. Jordan Reed with the reception, and the possession will continue. Set up at the 46-yard line, and the Marcos are moving once again.
23-yard pass. And a great catch by Reed. Good coverage there by the Clippers. Just Reed did a great job coming up with the football.
And I didn't want to. You were on the call, so I wasn't going to try to talk over you, but I looked down the field, and he found a pocket to sit in, and that ball fell in right before the 2 defenders could come in on him.
One wide receiver on the near side. 8 minutes to go here in the 4th. Here's the snap. Stevenson, pump fakes, going to look to throw. Flanagan coming after him. He'll get past the line of scrimmage, past midfield. And a good play there by Stevenson using his feet. They'll mark him at about the 48, maybe the 47-yard line.
Nice 7-yard gain.
7-yard gain on 1st down. That'll set up 2nd down and about 3.5. As the clock will stop as well with 7:53 to go. 30-14, Clippers with the lead. Marcos, they're on the roll.
I think without Mumford, that may be their best option right now. Spread the field, make them cover guys down the field, and with Stevenson's speed and running ability, that gives him 2 options.
And there's Mumford still trying to get something to work here on the near side, but doesn't look like it's going to go. Here's Reed right side. Reed has got a carry past the 45. He's going to be past the line to gain. He'll be set up at the 41-yard line. 6-yard gain on 2nd and 3 with 7:47 to go. Another 1st down for the Marcos. Best offensive possession we've seen since really dating back to the 1st quarter. Outside of that big run that we had at one point in the 3rd quarter, this is the best offensive drive as they started deep in their own territory. Stevenson, he's got Reed in the backfield with him. In the shotgun, moving a man in motion. Here's the snap, looks to throw. Stevenson, pressure comes, looking to spin away. Stevenson, he's going to be taken down right at about the 45-yard line. JT Stevenson sacked for a loss of 5 as we approach 7 minutes to go here in the 4th.
Ian Hassler, 6'3" freshman, in to clean that up as to pretty much put that scramble out.
That's going to be a loss back to the
46. Second down and 15 at the 46 with 6:45 to go. Time running out here for the Marcos as they look to claim their 3rd state championship in school history. In 8-man football, here's the snap looking to throw. Stevenson going to launch. That one tipped, and it's intercepted! It's Rylan McNitch inside the 30 to the 25. Rylan McNitch makes a huge play for the defending state champions, and they'll set up inside the 30.
Great job as he's the one that jumped up, knocked the ball airborne, and able to come down with it. And with 6:27 to go, Amboy knocking on the door, 30-14, and that might be a backbreaker for the Marcos.
Ball will be marked at the 24-yard line after that tip. Rylan McNitch, what a play. And Lopez lined up as the deep back here. Tanner Welch, I formation. Here's the snap. They hand it off to Lopez again. He's going to be stopped maybe back to the line of scrimmage. He might have actually lost a yard there. They're
Say
going to
he's
mark him
lost
at
a
the
couple
25.
yard or two. 74 on the stop.
So
Cole
maybe-
Chestnut, 205-pound, 6-foot senior for the Marcos.
So a loss of 1, back to the 25 as we approach 6 minutes to go here. And a quick moving second half we've really had here. I formation once again as Lopez the deep back. Welch awaiting the snap, and boy, everybody seemed to jump on that one. We'll see who jumped first. With 5:50 to go here, the clock will stop.
You're going to have a legal procedure on the offense. The linebackers hadn't quite made it across the line yet.
That far end jumping offside.
So that'll push him back to the 30-yard line there. It'll be second down and about 16. 30-14, Clippers with the lead. I formation. They're going to go quickly here as Lopez the deep back again. Here's the snap. They hand it off to Lopez. Going to the outside. There he goes. Past the line to gain. It's Lopez inside the 10.
You know, I was going to say right before that play, it seems like the last 3 times that Amboy's gotten pushed back because of a penalty, you just hand the ball off to Lopez, and he gets it back to about a 3 yards to a first down type situation. Here he is, you hand off to Lopez, and he's got plenty for a first down.
20 yards on 2nd and 16. It sets him up at the 10. First and goal at the 10. As Tanner Welch looking to put the nail in the coffin here. As Amboy looks for their 3rd straight championship. They hand it to the up back, running that one. Heath.
I think it was number 2.
It's a good 6-yard carry by the
was.
up back. Heath with the carry. It is indeed Caden Heath. It'll be second down and goal at the 4 as we approach 5 minutes to go here. And Polo looking for answers here, but they just haven't had them here, dating back to really after the first quarter. What a performance here it's been so far for Amboy.
How far was that?
That was Heath. It was gain of
6 on 1st and 10. Second down and goal to go at the 4. Here's the snap. It's to Lopez. He's going to lose a couple of yards.
Good job by Polo shooting in. See, he gets up off the pile. Number 25, Eli Perez, the first man there for the Marcos.
So 3rd down and 6 as we've got 4:40 to go here in the 4th. Couple of big plays here defensively for Polo if they want any sort of chance in this one. I formation, they've got Colt McCoy in the backfield, number 4. Tanner Welch awaiting the snap. Low to the ground. He loses the football. Ball's on the ground. Who's got it? It looks like Polo's got it, and they'll take over.
That's Perez.
So
Eli Perez on the fumble recovery.
So this one not over yet, but the Marcos are going to have their hands full here as they'll be set up at the 5-yard line. Second turnover of the ball game here for Amboy, giving a little bit of life
I thought it was 25.
to the Marcos.
Oh, it was Quentin Hart, I believe. My apologies. Jeff corrected me on that.
As I say, I saw 32, but I saw 25 get up and hand the ball, and I'm like, well, maybe he didn't have it. Maybe he.
Yeah, it
I
was
thought
Quentin
you saw
Hart.
something I didn't. I was like, oh.
I looked at the one below. Hart and Perez are next to each other on the roster.
So 4:23 to go here. Ball set at the 5-yard line. Polo needs to move here. Stevenson moving a man in motion. Here's the snap. Stevenson looking to throw. Throws it over the middle of the field. That one nearly picked. Cody Wynn nearly had that one.
Wow.
The thing is, the receiver behind him was wide open. He has it another foot taller. That's a huge completion. He has it a foot lower, and it's an easy interception.
4:17 to go here in the 4th. Second down and 10. Was that Reed the intended target on that one? Number 14, I believe
so.
30-14, Clippers with the 2-score lead. A lot of work to do here for the Marcos. Still plenty of time. 2 to the right. JT Stevenson in the shotgun. Takes it. Looks to throw. Going to dump this one off. He's got Reed. That one near the 10 to the 15. Close to the 15. Boy, that one looked like it might have skipped, but...
That's why I gave Chris a look. I can't see my vantage point to see the field, so I'm watching the monitor in front of us, and I just kind of looked at Chris like, I thought that bounced up into his hands, but...
Good job by Reed, apparently getting the hands under the ball and getting a good gain out to the 14.
So gain of 9 on second down and 10. So it'll be third down and 1. 3:42 to go. JT Stevenson takes it. Going to run it left side. Looking for a hole.
Nope.
He's going to be close. We'll see where they mark him.
I think he's short of the 15.
It looks like, they're about a half a yard shy here. So fourth down. Got to go for it here if you're the Marcos.
Got to go for it.
And clock winding down under 3:25 to play.
Are you surprised to see them still trying to run it here with, trailing by 16 and time running out there, fellas?
I don't think you can go one-dimensional against a team like Amboy because they do have the guys up front that you can't just sit back and try to pass. They're too talented of a team. I think you have to try to keep the mix up.
They're going to take the quarterback sneak. It's
Got
JT Stevenson. He'll have a gain of 1.5 yards, and it'll be enough for a first down. They'll mark it at the 16-yard line. Clock stops with 3 minutes to go to move the chains, and now they spin the clock.
Quick start.
As the Marcos running out of time here.
Usually you wait till the chains are spotted and stretch before you start the clock. The down
started
marker
pretty
came
quick.
up, and he started it quick. So
On a wet, cold night like tonight, maybe these officials have had enough. But still a lot of action ahead of us here, potentially. 2 to the left. As JT Stevenson going to be looking for a big play here for the Marcos. Moving a man in motion. Here's the snap. Stevenson going to look to throw. Dumps it off left side. He's got it. It's Rao. Rao's got the line to gain. He's going to be near the 30-yard line. Damon Rao with the reception.
And he got out of bounds, which is key because it stops the clock with 2:21 to play.
So they'll stop the clock, 30-yard line.
Got an injured Polo player on the far side.
It looks like Rao might still be down on that far sideline. So already one weapon down. You'd hate to see them lose another one here for the Marcos. We'll step aside real quick. We'll be back after this. TSSR Game Time Live. It's presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And welcome back. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, and Jeff Borders on the call here tonight. As 2:21 to go here in the state championship. Marco's running out of time, but they have the football here at the 30-yard line as they'll get set up. Now they spin the clock, so they say it was not out of bounds. Stevenson going to roll out. He's going to launch this one deep. Pressure.
Got a man.
Got a man. That one's completed inside the 40. Eli Perez, a big reception, and the Marcos are moving. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the fourth.
Lopez on the stop for the Clippers.
32 yards.
Pull quickly to the line.
So the ball will be set up at the 38-yard line as JT Stevenson is going to spike it on 1st and 10. So that'll stop the clock with 2:01 to go here. Finally a big play for the Marcos in the passing game.
Both teams still with 3 timeouts.
Chris, you and I saw against Amboy last week. This Amboy team, they were a little vulnerable against the pass when Milledgeville turned to the passing game late in that one, and maybe the Marcos are finding a little something here with 2 minutes to go here in this ball game.
Yeah, and they've had more success here since outside the first quarter with the passing game thus far. Here in the fourth, they're going to go back to the shotgun set again.
To the left, none on the right as they're snapping that one. JT Stevenson launches this one deep left side. He's got a couple of guys down there, but that one's incomplete. Looking for Reed or Eli Perez. Either one was in the area. JT Stevenson showing off his arm on that one. The senior quarterback overthrowing his targets. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Ball at the 37. 1:55 to go here in the state championship.
Still some really good pressure coming up the middle by Amboy. Made Stevenson kind of move out of the pocket a little bit. Maybe didn't give him the chance to really set the way he wanted to, and that's why he overthrew that. But number 75, Wyatt File coming in. Another 5'9", 215-pound sophomore.
Here's the snap, looking to throw. Pressure comes. Stevenson sets up the screen to Rao. He's got some room. Shakes the tackle inside the 30. Damon Rao inside the 25. What a run by Rao.
He's back in, and he's hurt
he's
again.
Back down again inside the 25.
He's going to get some help up, but
nope. He took a hard tackle to the lower extremities.
That was a big shot right there. So they'll spin the clock. 1:45 to go. Stevenson will come quickly to the line and likely going to spot this one. Spiking that one at the 24-yard line. So the Marco's a little bit of life.
I was going to say, I think Rowe's going to have to, he is going to come out. We see number 8 around Corbin Kavanaugh, 6'4", 200-pound senior tight end, check in for the Marcos.
It's a good option to bring in off the bench there. You got a big guy there. You just throw it up and potentially could come down with something here. 1:38 to go here. Second down and 10, ball at the 24. 2 wide receivers on the right side. Quentin Hart in the backfield. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Stevenson going to throw that one right side. That one looking for Reed, just out of the reach. 1:33 to go here, third down and 10.
That's one of those dangerous places. You want to make a play on the ball, but he tipped that one up and just kind of hung there in the air. If there had been a defender just a little bit closer, that is possible for INT.
1:33 to go here, fourth quarter. Third down and 10, ball at the 24-yard line. Amboy leading 30-14. The Marcos trying to get something going quickly. Of course, they still got to get potentially an onside kick. But you got to get the touchdown first. 2 to the right, 1 back in the backfield. Third down and 10. Stevenson takes the snap. Looking to throw, throwing it right side. Looking for his man. That one just over the reach of Eli Perez. He's 6 foot tall, but that one he needed to be about 6'2" to come down with that one. Fourth down and 10 coming for the Marcos.
Good coverage again there by Amboy. Number 2, I believe, on the coverage, Caden Heath.
So now big play here. Play the ball game for the Marcos. Fourth down and 10. State championship on the line here. As the crowd on the Amboy side, they are about as loud as they've been all night long. 2 wide receivers to the right of JT Stevenson. Quentin Hart in the backfield with them. Stevenson awaiting the snap, looking to throw. Stevenson's got good blocking for a moment. Pressure comes. There's Stevenson pointing out traffic. Is he going to get it? He's got the line to gain. 15. He runs out of bounds. Smart play, JT Stevenson. He's inside the 15 to the 14-yard line.
Be enough.
And they might have marked him about a half a yard shy.
They're going to have to bring the chains across from the far side.
Wow.
And on fourth down, they're going to bring the chains all the way across. And the Marcos season lies in this measurement.
The measurement earlier went against the Marcos, so, and I don't have a good view on this one, but I thought he had enough. The spot looked like they brought it back about a half yard. But I think they're going to be short again.
Well, we'll see as they stretch it out on 4th and 10. What's it going to be? And the official signal, first and 10 for the Marcos.
That had to have been just the very tip nose of the football to gain the first down for Polo.
So Amboy can't celebrate just yet. 1:17 to go here.
That's one of those, hey, we like the excitement. Let's not make it that exciting, okay? Let's get the first.
JT Stevenson has the call. The Marcos inside the red zone to the 14-yard line. Season's still alive here as Stevenson breaks the huddle. 2 to the left. Quentin Hart in the backfield with him. Both crowds on their feet here at Monmouth. Awaiting the snap. Stevenson looks to throw. Stevenson going to launch over the right side, looking for a man. He's got it! Touchdown, Marcos! Jordan Reed from 14 yards, and the Marcos are right back in it. What a throw by Stevenson to the right corner! What a catch by Jordan Reed!
Laid it perfectly in there by Stevenson.
Yeah, that was some, and he was under pressure. Pressure coming up the middle from the Amboy defense, and he was just able to lay that right on the money.
Now
they need
have
this
to get
2-point conversion.
They have to get this.
JT Stevenson on the 2-point try here, 30-20 the score. Here's the snap, they fake the handoff, throws it right side for Reed again, that one tipped away! Good coverage by Colt McCoy! 1:12 to go, a 10-point game! Clippers still with the lead.
Big stop by McCoy and the Clippers.
Now we're going to see an actual onside kick. So a lot of what do they call it? The most exciting play in football. So it's not over yet, but the excitement's still here. We still got this onside kick's going to be something.
Well, Polo's still got all 3 of their timeouts here. You just never know here. Football's a weird game sometimes here, fellas, and you just never know.
And we saw last week, bring it up again, Wyatt, Milledgeville successful on one that it looked like there was an Amboy player right there, and the ball took a little bit high of bounce, and Milledgeville able to come up with that football. So, not successful a lot, but they can be successful. And if you're Polo, you've got to get this one and get the ball back.
1:12 to go here in the fourth, 30-20 the score. Clippers with the lead. The Marcos of Polo trying to keep their season alive here with an onside kick opportunity. JT Stevenson, the kicker, as he'll come in and try to get this one back in the hands of the Marcos. You can hear a pin drop here as they come up on the ball. That's a high
big
bounce.
skip.
Couple skips back to the 35-yard line, and that's where the Clippers will take over. And Amboy celebrating on their sideline. Still 3 timeouts here for the Marcos, but that one might have done it here as the Clippers look for a 3rd straight state championship here in 8-man football.
Yeah, even with 3 timeouts here, if they were to take a knee, still punt the ball away. It's a 2-possession game. I'm not going to say it's over, but, 1 first down probably will seal this.
So the Clippers, they'll step onto the field here. Lopez the deep back, Tanner Welch in the I formation. As they turn and hand it off to Lopez, and there he goes. Big hole, Lopez! He's near the line, and I think he's got enough!
He's going to be just short.
They're going to mark him about a half a yard shy. Jose Lopez again a 9.5 on 1st and 10. Under a minute to go, clock still running. And Polo may be waving the white flag here as 2.5 an inch. What a run by Lopez. What a night for Lopez as the Clippers just 40 seconds away from their 3rd straight state championship. I formation again here for Welch. Still looking to the sideline. They're going to wait for the official to start counting down. Welch takes the snap, hands it off to Lopez again. He's got enough for the first down, and Amboy, they can feel it now. First down for the Clippers. Clock will stop with 19.6 to go, excuse me. And that should do it. They spin the clock.
And a quick spin, Jeff, on the far side. The chain's not even set, and the down marker barely set.
8 to go here, and that's going to do it. As for the 3rd straight year, the Amboy Clippers are your I8FA state champions. Fellas, what a ball game here as the handshake line starts here at midfield. I mean, this game started out about as perfectly as it could have for Polo. They got out to a 14-0 start. Their defense was playing so well. But as has been the case for many, many teams when playing against these Clippers the last 3 years in a row, they just wear you down. And over the course of 4 quarters, the Clippers come out on top, and they are the state champions once again here in 8-man football in the state of Illinois.
Yeah, just incredible run for the Amboy Clippers. Like I said, they took a punch in that first quarter, and they took the punch, punched back, and 3 in a row now for Coach Payne and his squad, the Amboy Clippers.
I mean, you say take a punch. You go all the way back to the beginning of the second quarter. Polo was almost first and goal. I think they were actually first and 10 at like the 13-yard line. They forced them out on downs. Lopez with back-to-back runs of 32 and 29 to get them into the end zone for their first score. And it was like from there, they pushed that snowball off the top of the precipice and down the hill it went, and they never stopped that momentum.
As the celebrations will continue once the handshake line gets through Mercer Mumford here on the near side. He couldn't walk through as he gave it everything he had, and now they have to help carry him to the Polo sideline there. But I'm telling you, Mercer Mumford, that's one heck of a kid there for the Marcos. As he is a junior, he will be back, and you would have liked to have seen him healthy here in this one, but boy, what an effort by Polo. Gave it everything they could here to try to knock off the two-time defending state champions, but they're going to come up just a little bit short here, losing by 10 here in this state championship.
Absolutely. Just gut check kid for Coach Olston and Polo, as you said a couple weeks ago. Wasn't sure if he's going to get to play in that game. Came back, had a huge game there. Had a good game, very good game for Polo here in the contest for the Marcos.
As we'll continue here with the celebration here at the state championship here, the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA state championship here. More post-game interviews, everything coming up next here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
My name is Kelsey Cunningham. I'm a nurse practitioner with the cardiology department here at McDonough District Hospital. Cardiology is like a big puzzle. A lot of things can be traced back to the heart, and to see somebody in your office at the beginning of the process really down on themselves and, not feeling like their best self, and I think in their mind never really thinking that they're going to recover from that, to fast forward 6 months where they're back doing things they once did. It's the ultimate goal, and I love to see it happen.
And welcome back. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here. TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser on the call here. Jeff Borders had to step aside here. We appreciate him helping us out. There is, not that they needed it, Gatorade bath on a wet night here, but the celebration here at April Zorn Memorial Field here at Monmouth College.
I got a funny suspicion why Coach Payne probably does not mind that.
He ought to be used to it by now.
I was going to say.
Three straight state championships here for the Amboy Clippers. And like we talked about with Borders here just a moment ago here, they took every punch. Polo left it all out there here this evening. It was just gut check time, something that they haven't really had to do this season. They dug deep and they found something that they really didn't need most of the season here, and it was on full display here, scoring 30 unanswered points to come back and take the lead and ultimately win this state championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, they took a punch in that first quarter, and early on in the second, like Jeff said, Polo had it inside the 15. Amboy forces a turnover down. You get 2 big runs from Lopez, who finishes the night 269 yards, 3 touchdowns on 29 carries.
2 straight weeks with 29 carries apiece.
Well, and 2 weeks now combined over 510 yards of offense.
And you want to know the scary thing, Chris? He's coming back.
Well, and that's what we were talking during one of the break. Both squads have got a lot coming back next year. Stevenson's a senior for Polo, but you got Mercer Mumford as a junior. Perez. So you've got some good, but you look at the offensive weapons for Amboy. Lopez a junior, Heath a junior, McCoy a junior, Welch a junior, Flanagan on the defensive side, he's a junior.
Pretty much everybody you saw on display here tonight for Amboy. They're coming back.
Yeah, that's a scary thought. It's a
scary thing to say here when you're talking about a 3-time state champion here. Coach Payne has got these kids rolling. What a ball game here as the both sides lining up here to thank their fans here on what has been just a memorable season here, Chris. We've gotten to see you and I both here the last 2 weeks. We've been blessed with 2 absolute classics of
Yes,
football games
yes.
here. We were in Amboy for the game against Milledgeville, and obviously here in the state championship game, this still went down to the final few minutes. Even though they were up 30-14, Polo got a late touchdown, could have made it an 8-point game there with a 2-point try. I mean, we've gotten to see some really good football
Yes, we
here.
have.
8-man football well represented the last 2 weeks.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter. 8-man, 11. This has just been some great playoff football right from the start.
Great leadership too, as both coaches. You know, these guys will go down as legends here at these schools, with just how well coached they are. As we get ready for the
award ceremonies
here on the sidelines, and I mean for the Marcos, like we said here, I mean they came in, gave it everything they had here, nothing to hang their head about. They'll have a lot of players coming back here. There's
Direct
a good
your
chance.
attention to the home sideline as we hand out the runners-up medals to Polo. We'll start with the superintendent, Dr. Kelly Mandrell. Principal, Andy Favor. Ball boy, Benton McKeel. Filmers, Deanna McKinley. Harper Booth. And Emma Porter. On stats, Mike Mumford. Carter Murdian. Ryan Nelson. And Randy Mitchell. Head coach, Ted Olston. Assistant coaches, Matt Scholl. Cliff Bardell. Tyler Meridian. Jalen Bickett. And Avery Grenoble. Now the players, number 1, Jackson Willis. Number 2, JT Stevenson. 3, Damon Rowe. 4, Camden Schaefer. 6, Van Lindas. 7, Matt Bonnell. 8, Corbin Kavanaugh. 9, Isaac McFalls. 11, Landry Mumford. 12, Henry Donaldson. 13, Daniel Johnstone. 14, Jordan Reed. 15, Logan Burmeister. 16, Ryder Favor. 21, Tyler Webster. 23, Jackson Buskell. 25, Quentin Hart. 28, Carter Quacco. 32, Eli Perez. 34, Jaden Reed. 35, Tien Escobar. 52, Ethan Dewey. 54, Esteban Salinas. 55, Maddox Peterson. 56, Junior Drowns. 64, Landon Burnett. 68, Dylan Reimer. 74, Cole Chestnut. 75, Wyatt Plackno. 80, Knox Chestnut. 83, Mercer Mumford. And 86, Noah Yingling. And now will captains from Polo please step forward to claim your second place trophy. Congrats to Polo on a fantastic season. And now please direct your attention on the sideline on the visiting side as we give the medals to our state champion, Amboy Clippers. The Lamoille principal, Emily Leffelman. Ohio principal and athletic director, Jason Wilt. Amboy superintendent, Josh Nichols. Amboy principal, Janet Crownhart. Assistant principal, Katie Bolfer. Athletic director, George Schwamberger. Statistician, Denny Hicks. Statistician, Chris Payne. And statistician, Dean Powers. Managers, Jeremy Fry. Mason Flanagan. And Thomas Payne. Filmer, Mike Colton. Assistant coaches, Kenny Shrimplin. Mitchell McLaughlin. Sam Jones. Jeremy Wittenauer. And Tyson Powers. And head coach Scott Payne. Now the players, number 1, Jose Lopez. Number 2, Caden Heath. Number 3, Cody Wynn. Number 4, Colt McCoy. Number 5, Rylan McNinch. Number 6, Aiden Spinelli. Number 7, Tanner Welch. Number 12, Damian Bender. Number 14, Yu Amen. Number 20, Abel Valdez. Number 25, Tucker McCoy. Number 35, Jake Dingus. Number 47, Gavin Nichols. Number 50, Javion Green. Number 52, Henry Klein. Number 55, Colin O'Malley. Number 58, Trevor Stenzel. Number 60, Owen Loomis. Number 68, Logan Ketchum. Number 70, Jaden Sliger. Number 75, Wyatt File. Number 77, Grady McLaughlin. Number 79, Ian Hassler. And number 83, Evan Flanagan. Will members of the Clippers step forward and claim your state championship trophy? Congrats to the Amboy Clippers on a state championship season.
Over the years, we've told you about the benefits of choosing Spoon River College. Affordable.
Transferable credit.
Career ready.
A culture where students feel like they belong.
Wow, that brings a tear to my eye. And while all these are true, there seems to be one thing that, well, sticks. So let's give the people what they want to see.
Enrollment is now open.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And welcome back to the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here on TSSR Game Time, live presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser on the post game as the Clippers of Amboy, 3 straight state championships as they pull this one off here. 30-20 our final score here, as Polo gave it everything they had here, but they come up just 10 points short, and a lot to do with that here this evening was Jose Lopez here, Chris. What a performance by Lopez. Back-to-back weeks that we've been talking about Lopez. Just an incredible kid. The last 2 weeks, he has put that on full display.
Absolutely. Unofficially, I have my full stats up first. 29 carries again, which matches his carries from last week. A little more yardage tonight, 269 yards, 3 touchdowns.
So 2 straight weeks with 6 total touchdowns. I mean, and we talked about it, before we went to the trophy presentation. We just talked about the fact that a lot of this core for Amboy is going to be coming back, and that is just a terrifying thing. If you're an 8-man team in the state of Illinois, you saw Polo's best shot, and they just took it, they brushed it off, and they scored 30 unanswered points here this evening.
Yeah, Lopez, a junior. Tanner Welch is a junior. Colt McCoy, Caden Heath. I mean, all juniors coming back. Evan Flanagan on the defensive side of the ball. Coach Payne has got he's got a loaded roster coming back again next year. Just unbelievable performance. Yeah, 275 yards, or 575 yards. No, 475 yards. Can't do the math.
Math is hard.
475 over 2 games for the last 2 games for Lopez and 6 touchdowns.
When you've been on the air as long as we have here, it is it kind of fries your mind a little bit here sometimes here, as we're going to talk with the coaches here and some players here, we imagine, as we move along here in the post game. But it's good to have you here. Thanks to everybody who watched here this evening. We've had a lot of fun here, these playoffs, these 8-man playoffs. People like to talk about 8-man football, whether it's good or bad. the last 2 weeks, especially the games that you and I have done, Chris, it's been some of the best that 8-man football has to offer.
Absolutely. That Milledgeville Amboy game last Saturday, one of the best games I've been involved in calling it. Not just 8-man, 11-man. And I've been doing this since back in the early 90s, so one of the best football games I've done. And this was a great game. Like I said, the first half, it was just, Polo came out, kind of punched Amboy in the mouth, and he didn't know, because Amboy really hasn't been in that position a whole lot. How was Amboy going to respond? Well, they responded, punched right back, got it all square at the half, and there was all Clippers in the second half.
I think it's something that I mentioned as we were wrapping up the broadcast there, at least before we went to the celebrations there. It's just the size of Amboy, just the big kids that they have. Over the course of 4 quarters, they're going to wear you down. It becomes, an energy game. Who's got the most energy left in the tank? And, 9 times out of 10, it's Amboy, and that's why they've been able to rattle off 3 straight championships.
Yeah, absolutely. And, they don't throw the football a lot, but Welch had 32 yards on 6 completions, but had a big touchdown to Cody Wynn for 8 yards there to put Amboy up to stay.
It's nothing special that they do, it's not going to be the flashy plays. It's nothing super special in that regard, but it is just, they're going to come right after you here. They're going to punch you in the mouth. And like we saw, Polo did the punching in the early going here, but, Amboy's going to keep punching. They're going to keep throwing the punches, and, they're going to live or die by that running game, and they're going to throw it just enough to keep you off balance. But we saw a lot of rushing here, especially when you get a good performance from Jose Lopez here. That's going to carry you a long, long way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I go back to the last game of the regular season, did the West Central Amboy game. Coach Kirby knows good football. And Coach Kirby, on the post-game show that night with me, said, Amboy's not going to do anything flashy. You know ahead of time what they're going to do, but they're so gosh darn good at what they do. They execute everything to a T, and that makes them hard to play against.
Yeah, it certainly does. But a team that you feel like had the best chance to not, outside of Milledgeville maybe, you feel like the best team in the state that had a chance to knock off Amboy in these playoffs was the team that we saw out there on the field here tonight in Polo. I mean, they're under great leadership. Ted Olston knows what he's doing, and obviously he's won a couple of state championships there at Polo. You felt like if there was a team that could beat Amboy, it was going to be this Polo team, and I tell you, there's nothing to hang their heads about here tonight. We saw they threw every punch they had here. It was a great performance by the Marcos. It just came in a losing effort.
Yeah, and I said while they were going through the ceremonies, you kind of wonder, with Mumford going out there in the third quarter, if that would have had some difference in the contest for Polo, because after that, it was a lot of Stevenson on the ground, and they went to the air. 9 of 13 for TJ Stevenson, the senior, 122 yards and a passing touchdown. Did have one interception in the contest as well, but
could have had a second one.
Right, but I really think that Mumford injury for Polo kind of changed the tide of the contest for the Marcos.
I agree with you. It just, seeing him in that quarterfinal matchup against St. Anne when I saw him in person, this is a special kid. This is a special football family. Yes. I mean, this Mumford family is deep, filled with football players, and he put on a show there on short notice when they didn't know whether or not he was going to play in the quarterfinals. He plays the quarterfinals, plays the semifinal, did everything he could to stay out there. He was running up and down that sideline, the near sideline. He was trying to come back, and then near the end of the game, you saw him on the bench. The AD is tapping him on the shoulder, saying, "Man, there's nothing to hang your head at. You did everything you could."
Well, and he got shook up earlier in the contest, and he was able to come back and play well, but I kind of had, I hate saying that kind of gut feeling, and you feel your stomach drop, the butterflies, whatever, however you want to describe it. But when he went down that second time, it's like, okay, this might be a little different. This may be a little harder, but you can't, like you said, you can't deny the kid's guts and his heart. He was trying everything, and you could see he tried to run. He really wasn't able to run much there on the home sideline here with Polo, and it's just it's a shame he got hurt in the contest. I do think maybe that kind of took some of the wind out of possibly Polo's sails in the second half, but regardless, you can't fault the effort by either one of these squads.
But you also got to credit Amboy for smelling the blood in the water, so to speak, there, and they jumped all over it. You can just tell defensively, the way the defense played, when they could sense that maybe Mumford wasn't quite at 100% here, that defense was flying all around, and it was led by Evan Flanagan.
Yeah, we said that last week. That kid, and I've been doing these games, we've been doing these games for years, and it seems like Evan Flanagan should be older than a junior. He's one of those kids.
You've said his name so many times.
You said it, now the 3B. He's got his name called a lot as a freshman. He had a huge part in their road to getting championship number 2 last year. Had a huge block on that punt, and really the only score in the first half of that game last week was on a short field because Amboy and Flanagan got the turnover on the block punt.
Yeah, he's a special kid, and who knows? Maybe we get to chat with him here post game. We'll find out here as we're in the post game here. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser on the call here from April Zorn Memorial Field here at the campus of Monmouth College. What a great venue. What a great night, though, again, like I said, for 8-man football. We talked about it with the I8FA guys. You could tell that they were very proud of seeing what was out there tonight. Just a huge crowd, despite the weather, despite the conditions. Didn't slow down these guys here tonight. I8FA was well represented here this evening.
I got a funny suspicion that Polo and Amboy, it may have been the analogy of last one out of town, turn the lights off. both crowds huge. And like you said, the weather didn't really deter anybody from coming out. It looked like this. I know the visitor stands were completely full, so we can see them across from the east side of the stadium. There was a huge crowd from what I could see down on the Polo sideline down below us, and people standing up along the fence, people standing along the fence on the Amboy side. It just a credit, and this is what you got to love about small school football, small town football. It's a community event. Every Friday night, it's a community event.
It truly is. It brings everybody together. We saw it on full display last week at Amboy, I think. There was not a person sitting down at Amboy, and there were people, folks, if you could see it in person, it was all the way around. People on the fence. I mean, and 2 or 3 people back.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. It was 2 to 3, 4 people deep in spots. Beach was full on both sides. I mean, it was just... The atmosphere was electric. It was electric here tonight. And like I said, this is the epitome of what small town football means to those communities.
It's the beauty of sports. I say it all the time here. You know, people always ask it, you know, or say to us, you know, we appreciate you guys doing this. Well, we appreciate doing it as well because we get the chance to just bring all these communities together by getting to do these broadcasts.
And not just the coaches. We meet some great people, fans. You know, we've gone so many places, like you said, and just people in the chat and in Facebook and social media saying how great it is. But just having people last week, the Amboy folks were just the fans, not anybody associated with the school. Some of the fans were coming up to us and said, we really appreciate you guys coming up here.
Yeah.
I joke, you know, I do Bushnell games. Amboy's my second home.
Yeah.
We did 4 games, I think, 3 games in a row up there last year, and I had Amboy all the way through the playoffs to the state championship.
Right.
Saw them against West Central, saw them against Bushnell in week 3, and then we had them last week. So I joke that corner of that press box is our press box, our corner. And I'm talking to the AD. I said, can we please have our spot? But it's just great. We get to meet some great people associated with the schools and just some great fans throughout the state.
Yeah, we appreciate all the ADs obviously letting us come to do these games. Like I said, we have an absolute blast. It brings everybody together. That's what sports is. It was on full display here tonight.
Absolutely.
We got to enjoy that firsthand here at the I8FA state championship game here. So we're still here in the post-game coverage here. You know, with all the media coverage that is here tonight, you know, we can understand the coaches are certainly a little delayed getting to us here. We'll stay as long as they'll let us here at Monmouth College, and it seems like they're going to let us stick around here a while. But
I know Coach Lawler mentioned that in his halftime show interview, and I'm trying to find the post. The I8FA clinic, coaches clinic, they're going to hold one next year. Set your calendars to the weekend of February 28th. That'll be hosted. I8FA will be hosting the coaches clinic at Peoria Heights High School. Contact Coach Parker at Kendall.Parker at ph325.org. And they've got a whole day of speakers, as Coach Longer said. I think we're getting a couple of speakers from Wisconsin coming down, and going to be a great opportunity for to hear some folks that maybe they're not familiar with from other states talk about the 8-man football game.
Well, we'll talk more about that. We'll talk with coaches here as we move along here in the post game. We're going to take a break here on the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA state championship game here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
The KitchenAid fan-enabled Pro Dry system combines a heating element and fan for optimal drying performance. It circulates hot air around dishes to give them a thorough dry. Choose the extended Pro Dry option to add an extra 15 minutes of heated drying for loads that need it. Dishes come out dry and sparkling, ready for more enjoying.
Over the years, we've told you about the benefits of choosing Spoon River College.
Affordable.
Transferable credit.
Career ready.
A culture where students feel like they belong.
Wow, that brings a tear to my eye. And while all these are true, there seems to be one thing that, well, sticks. So let's give the people what they want to see.
Enrollment is now open.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
My philosophy in pediatrics is definitely prevention, early intervention, and advocacy. Being an advocate for my patients is one of the main reasons why I got into pediatrics in the first place. I like working close with families and being able to empower moms, especially first-time moms, or empower any caregiver. MDH Peds gives that family-centered care. My name is Leilani Segura, and I am a pediatrician at McDonough District Hospital.
And welcome back to the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser joining me here. I was doing so good all night long. I hadn't messed that up once, but now here we are in the post-game show. I think things are shutting down here.
Dwayne, since he came in to say something to us.
He did, I think so. You know, it might have thrown me off my game here, but I mean, folks are still celebrating out on the field here, so we're still awaiting coaches, and we're totally okay with giving them as long as they want here, because there's a lot to talk. We're really on both sides here. There's a lot of emotions. You know, you look at obviously the Amboy side celebrating their third straight championship, but on the Polo side, they felt like they were so close there. And as we talked about with the Mercer Mumford injury, you feel like, what if? What if he was healthy? What if he was out there tonight for the full 48 minutes? Would it have been a different story here? A lot of what ifs and a lot of emotions here on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, but like they say, it's the next man up. They use that, you hear that analogy a lot in football, all levels. It's next man up.
Very much so, but it's hard to replace firepower like absolutely. That. So, but yeah, we are here, and the I8FA State Championship game with TSSR, and we want to thank so many of our great sponsors here, especially our title sponsor, the Illinois Farm Bureau, who we talked to in the pregame, and just to have them on board here as a first-time sponsor here in this state championship game. I tell you what, it was great to have them on board, and we certainly hope to have them back here next year, because it's always great to get folks on board here, and I think they realize just how important games like this are to get these broadcast out to families, friends, just everybody that could not be here tonight. TSSR happy to be here and do that, and of course we wouldn't be able to do it without great sponsors like Illinois Farm Bureau.
Well, and I know Coach Longworth mentioned that in the halftime show. Small town football, Illinois Farm Bureau. It's like a match made in heaven. And yeah, like you said, I want to reiterate, thank you to the Illinois Farm Bureau for coming on board and being the sponsor of the championship game. And hopefully this is the first of many years we get to work with the Illinois Farm Bureau.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun here, as I just saw Coach Payne poke his head through the window here, so I think we might try to get him in if we can here. As folks are filing around here, we're still trying to get everything all figured out here at Monmouth College. We'll take a quick break. We'll take a break quick here. Talk with Scott Payne, Amboy's head coach, next here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Every McDonough District Hospital sports medicine and rehabilitation patient receives one-on-one appointment times with a licensed staff member. They develop a personalized recovery and treatment plan to turn your setback into a comeback. We offer physical and occupational therapy, vestibular rehabilitation, speech-language pathology, cardiac and pulmonary rehabilitation, dry needling, and pelvic floor therapy. MDH, your community physical therapy partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
And welcome back to the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, and the head coach of the three-time state champion Amboy Clippers. Got a good ring to it. Scott Payne joining us here at Monmouth College here this evening. Coach Payne, a big congratulations to you. 3 straight championships here. This one was pretty special here tonight.
Oh, yes, it was, and thank you. Yeah, it was special. We got down 14-0 right off the bat, and Our kids, hats off to Polo. They come out and took it to us in that first quarter. They ran the ball right down at us. And, we made a couple adjustments after that first quarter and we were able to tie it up right before half, and that was huge for us.
Yeah, Coach, that's something we were talking. That's something that you guys probably aren't real been used to over the last few years, to have somebody kind of come out and, I called it like a boxing analogy, to kind of punch you guys right in the face, and your guys stepped up there in the second quarter. Really, I thought it was really key. I know Polo had it down inside the 15, and you guys, that kind of set this tone. You guys held them on a turnover on down, and then you get a couple big runs from Lopez, and you guys are right back in the ballgame.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Polo did straight in the mouth, and like you said, that stop down there inside the 15 was huge for us, and our kids, that kind of got the momentum back on our side.
Right.
When they had that stop, and then like you said, then we started breaking up some long runs with Lopez, and then the momentum really started going on.
Right.
I tell you what, the last couple of weeks we've seen it on full display. Chris and I both, we were at the game, up at Amboy in this state semifinal game. Lopez is a special kid. You've called on his name quite a bit. 58 carries just the last 2 weeks alone, almost 500 yards, 6 total touchdowns. That's a special kid, and you get to bring him back next year. How cool is that?
That's great. I'm really happy to be able to have him back. And like I said, Jose the last 2 weeks has just played absolutely great for us. He's a tough kid. He's a tough runner. He runs low to the ground, and I was just so happy for him for the way he performed the last 2 weeks. But he would be the first one to tell you it's all his offensive line. That's just the type of kid he is. And like you said, it's pretty nice to be able to have him coming back next year.
You got a few weapons coming back next year, don't you, Coach?
Yeah, we do. We got Heath back, and Colt McCoy, and our quarterback, and a couple of linemen up front.
That's got to be a frightening thought for the rest of the coaches, especially those coaches in the West Division, that you guys really aren't losing a whole lot of offensive firepower.
No, we got a lot coming back. We're going to lose Colin O'Malley at guard, and we'll lose our top wide receiver, Cody Wynn.
Right.
And then Ryan McNash. But, we got Stenzel and Ketchum and Tank back, Evan Flanagan up front in our backfield. And, we got a couple good sophomores. Number 79, Ian Haskell, freshman. He'll be the sophomore next year. So, we're excited about next year, but I think right now we're just going to enjoy
this
for the next couple days. And worry about next year when that gets here.
Yeah, rightfully so. Here, as we're talking to the head coach of the Amboy Clippers, Scott Payne, here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. One of the guys that you mentioned there that you do have coming back here, and it's a guy that we talk about all the time on our broadcast, Chris and I, Evan Flanagan, that captain on the defensive side. Boy, he makes an impact there. And it looked like, it was his leadership and some of the plays that he made there defensively that really kind of got you guys back into this ball game.
Yeah, Evan really stepped up his play after the first couple of drives, and our defensive line coach kind of challenged him a little bit because he really wasn't doing what we wanted him to do. And once he got challenged, Evan really stepped up and played great after that. And we flipped him back over to number 75 side because they were running that way most of the time. And we just told him, we're going to go our best on your best and see what happens. And Evan stepped up to the challenge.
Yeah, and you mentioned Wynn had a good game for you, 3 catches for 32 yards. Had that, the go-ahead touchdown from Welch. You guys don't throw it well, but a lot. But you when you do, you connect and you were able to punch one in there. A little change of pace, I guess, because that drive you guys will rush down the road. Hurry up, run. And then you throw that pass in and Wynn able to come up with that catch for you guys.
Yeah, Cody, that was a great catch. It was a good throw by Tina.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we started that drive, the guys up in the booth said, all right, no huddle on this. And I'm like, yeah, we got to do something. The kids, they like to go no huddle. We don't do it all the time. But, like you said, we like to run the ball and set up that play action pass. And that's one of our top play action pass plays that we ran. So we just said, let's just go with what we know how to run. Tanner threw a good ball, and Cody made a good play.
Absolutely.
It feels like the game, though, certainly kind of changed when you saw on the sideline potentially, and you saw down on the field a couple of times, Mercer Mumford. I know that was probably a good chunk of your entire game plan. When you saw him kind of dealing with whatever he was dealing with here tonight, did you sense maybe a little blood in the water there, and you say you got to take advantage of this while he is kind of fighting what he was fighting here this evening?
Oh yeah, and the thing is, you hate to see a kid like him get hurt like that in a game like this. He was over on our sideline, and I kept asking him, was it cramp? He goes, no, it's not. And I said, we're trying to get him to relax a little bit. And, he's a really good football player. He's only a junior too. And like I said, you just hate to see a kid get hurt like that in a game like this and not be able to finish it out. But Mumford was our biggest concern coming into the game tonight, and he had a good game up until
Yeah.
that point.
I think we had him over 185 yards on 19 carries before he went down. So, yeah, and you mentioned Lopez offensively. I thought he had some big key stops for you guys there, especially in that second half defensively.
Yeah, Jose did a great job. I think on that one fourth down, he was one of the kids that made the stop. And, Jose did a really good job in the second half playing linebacker for us. And he was stepping up and making some big tackles for only a 1 or 2 yard gain.
And we're talking to the head coach of the Amboy Clippers here, Scott Payne, here on TSSR Game Time Live. This has just been an absolute great run that you guys have had. Congratulations on 3 straight championships, going for 4. I know you guys have got a lot of work to do here, but enjoy this one here, Coach. It's been an absolute pleasure broadcasting this one here, and we look forward to seeing your boys out there next year.
Thank you very much, and it was a great game. And like I always say, we appreciate everything you guys do. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
And everyone that back in the Amboy watches is who at the game. So thank you very much for what you guys do.
More of the post-game show coming up here. The Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game. The winning head coach here, the Amboy Clippers, Scott Payne. Thank you so much, sir, Mr. Payne, for stopping by. We'll take a break. We're back after this on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Over the years, we've told you about the benefits of choosing Spoon River College.
Affordable.
Transferable credit.
Career ready.
A culture where students feel like they belong.
Wow, that brings a tear to my eye. And while all these are true, there seems to be one thing that, well, sticks. So let's give the people what they want to see.
Enrollment is now open.
And welcome back to the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here, TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser, and joining us here from the state runner-up here of the Polo Marcos, the head coach, Ted Olston, joining us here on TSSR. Coach, unfortunately not the result that you were looking for here, but I got to tell you what, your boys gave one heck of an effort there tonight. You certainly would have liked a better result here, but you can't fault your boys for giving it all they had out there here this evening.
No, I think we had a great start to the game. Kind of gave momentum away there at the end of the half, and I thought our kids played hard. And credit Amboy, they kind of turned it up a little bit on us there. And a couple plays go differently, and maybe it's a different outcome. But all around, I thought it was a great football game. Both teams, gave it everything they had, and very proud of our kids tonight.
Yeah, Coach, not typical for the last 3 years for Amboy, but you guys really kind of came out in that opening quarter and just said to Coach Payne a boxing analogy, you kind of punched them right in the nose there in that first quarter.
We did. When we came out really hot, first couple of drives, and had that third drive where we missed the fourth down by a couple inches, and that kind of shifted momentum a little bit. They were able to score, and then before half, tie it up. And again, but we needed to respond in the third quarter, and then we weren't able to. Give Amboy credit. They really, I thought, played well after we came out and like you said, punched them a few times.
What did you see on the Amboy side? What were they doing differently as they were starting to mount that rally here, started scoring those points, ended up being 30 consecutive points there? What were they doing differently that you guys were trying to respond to, just couldn't end up getting that response?
I just felt like physically they just turned it up a notch. They're a little bit bigger than we are, and our kids, again, they play hard for their size, but we got some undersized kids out there, and I just felt like their line on both sides just really turned up the physical play to a point that they weren't in the first quarter.
Yeah, and unfortunately, losing Mumford there in the third quarter, had a 19 carries, 185 yards for you guys, and that just, kind of took the momentum, I guess, out of you guys there in the second half. He went down earlier, came back in, and I know he's been dealing with injuries for off and on all year, and I know a couple of weeks ago there was a question whether he was even going to play. But just a gutsy effort by him trying to get himself back out there. You got to feel bad for a kid that he was having a heck of a football game for you guys.
He was playing his guts out, and he, he was our biggest offensive weapon, and then to lose him, at that point in the game, it took a little bit away from us, but he's also, he's an all-conference defensive back too, so it also hurts us defensively, and you could feel a little bit of a letdown with the kids, but I thought we still played hard. I thought the guys who went in, Jordan Reed as replacement ended up catching a touchdown for us, and it was just a little not enough there at the end, and a little too late, for us.
But I know something that, as we're talking to the head coach of the Polo Marcos, Ted Olston here on TSSR, something that you certainly gotta like going into next year is, the fact that you get guys like Mumford. You are losing your starting quarterback, JT Stevenson, but you got a lot of weapons coming back here next year. I mean, the feeling has got to be pretty good, even though tonight might hurt a little bit. You're going to have a lot of these guys, they're going to have that bad taste in their mouth. They're going to want to be back here next year, and they want to try to flip this result.
Yeah, hopefully it fuels our younger kids, especially our junior class, and you bring up JT. JT really didn't practice all week. He was dealing with a pretty significant injury as well, and he gutted it out tonight, and I thought he played really well.
He did.
He's been a great leader for us all year.
Yeah, he finishes 18 carries for 56 yards, 9 of 13 for 122 yards through the air on a touchdown to Reed, as you mentioned. And the cover's not bare, but take a few days to dwell on this, and you guys, I'm sure, getting ready to get right back at it. And before we know it, it'll be August, and we're right back at it again.
Kind of a crazy thought there as we're talking to the head coach of the Polo Marcos here, Ted Olston here. And Coach, we got to say, like we said, we got to say this again. Can't fault the effort, though. Your boys gave it everything they had there. We had an absolute blast watching them, not only this game, but over the last couple of weeks with the playoffs here. Congratulations on a great season. Again, coming up just short, but thank you so much for taking the time here and chatting with us, as we really do appreciate your time.
Well, thank you very much, and obviously we appreciate the coverage, for all those people watching at home. This means a lot to them to be able to, from all over the country, be able to watch their relatives and friends, and so it's awesome that you guys do this. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Happy to do it, as he's the head coach of the Polo Marcos, Ted Olston. We'll take a break. We're back with more postgame next here. TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I'm Lindsay Schaefer. I'm a physical therapist specializing in pelvic floor physical therapy here at McDonough District Hospital Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Young women, a lot of them have pelvic pain. They don't realize that it's something that they don't have to live with anymore. It's very common for people to have urinary leakage. And I always say it's common, but it's not normal. It's not something you need to live with. I also focus on hip pain, back pain. It's all kind of connected. Any age really can benefit from it.
My name is Kelsey Cunningham. I'm a nurse practitioner with the cardiology department here at McDonough District Hospital. Cardiology is like a big puzzle. A lot of things can be traced back to the heart, and to see somebody in your office at the beginning of the process really down on themselves and not feeling like their best self, and I think in their mind never really thinking that they're going to recover from that, to fast forward 6 months where they're back doing things they once did. It's the ultimate goal, and I love to see it happen.
Over the years, we've told you about the benefits of choosing Spoon River College.
Affordable.
Transferable credit.
Career ready.
A culture where students feel like they belong.
Wow, that brings a tear to my eye. And while all these are true, there seems to be one thing that, well, sticks. So let's give the people what they want to see.
Enrollment is now open.
And welcome back to the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wyatt Reed, Chris Frankhauser wrapping things up here from April Zorn Memorial Field here at the campus of Monmouth College. What a night. Third straight championship for the Amboy Clippers. And Chris, history being made here. The first three-time champion in the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
All three in a row. they'll be going for 4 in a row here, and you got to have a good feeling that you're going to see these Clippers potentially back in the state championship next year.
Look ahead and you don't win games on paper, but folks, Amboy's loaded coming back next year. Like I said with Coach Payne, it's like, especially those teams in the West Division, they got to go, when is this going to end at this point? But congratulations, both teams. It was really a great game. We were tied at 14 at the half. Got the game that we thought we were going to see. Both teams capable of scoring a lot of points, but these defenses for both squads really, I thought, played well at points in this game. And, it was just, that steamroll of Amboy. Like you said, it's nothing fancy, but gosh darn it, they do what they do extremely well.
And I think you could see it on the look on Coach Olston's face for the Marcos. I mean, they feel like they had a team that had a chance to do something special here. And like we said, they're going to be bringing back a lot of players. Yeah. Who knows? There's a chance we might see these two teams right back here next November.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. And, you can't believe football season's upon us, but at the same point, I can't believe football season's over now for us. It's done. Before we know it, you and I will be cranking up basketball. We already had some basketball games, both of us this week.
Yeah.
And, tomorrow, finish up in Macomb. Then the Spartan Tip-Off Classic next week. There's games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. But before we know it, man, it's going to be August, and we're going to be ready to get ready to do this all over again.
So make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel here, so you don't miss out on all the action, because we do the 8-man state playoffs, and we have an absolute blast doing it.
Absolutely, it's been a great run. Playoff games this year. I thought some of the best games we've seen overall is a playoff field, and that came last week was epic, and this one was right up there with that one.
Right there with it. We've had a lot of fun all season long here. It's sad to see the season won't wrap up, but like Chris said, we've got plenty more sports to bring you here on TSSR, so make sure you stay up to date here with everything going on here. A lot of tournaments, a lot of fun coming up over the next couple of months here, but we've had a great crew helping us out here this evening. We appreciate the folks here at Monmouth College for hosting us here once again this evening. For our great crew, and for Chris sitting next to me here, my name's Wyatt Reed. It's been an absolute pleasure broadcasting the Illinois Farm Bureau I8FA State Championship game right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Have a good night.